Yo. So I have a story to tell. Today was like the day of super aggressive, I don't want to say homeless people, but less fortunate. So we're going to start off. I got back from New York City this morning at 8 a.m. I got out of church. No. Here's what happened. Got back from New York City, Trenton Station. Drove from Trenton to the church I go to in Center City. So outside of this church is a homeless guy, right? And like, every once in a while, like, he comes into the church and stuff.
So
and,
you
like,
know him?
Yeah. I kind of have the relationship where, like, he sees me and, like, he knows who I am, but he doesn't really know my name. And I give him $1 every now and then, but he's in that position where he'll ask even though you've given before, you know? Like, that's just the kind of, he's like, hey, like, spare change for the homeless. Like, so he says, like, the same thing usually every day. And he says, like, the name of the church, too, because he wants to get, like, attention from people that are going to the church, right? So I say, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, hey, man, you got anything to eat? I was like, no, I'm sorry, dude. And he goes, all right, maybe on the way back. Go to service, dip out early because I want to go watch Princess Mononoke. Because that was in theaters today for a little bit in the afternoon. I come out of the theater, right? The dude, I won't forget this moment as long as I live. So I come out, I see the homeless guy sitting there. I know this homeless guy, right? So I know that, like, his situation is real.
What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Oh, you don't know
but
his name.
I said I have the relationship where, like, I look at him and he looks at me and, like, we know who each other are. That's it, right? So I see this guy sitting there and he has a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts. There's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street. So either a Dunkin' Donuts employee came out and gave him one, like, out of pity, or somebody was nice enough to go, like, buy him one, right? So I don't know the full story here. I just saw, without any audio, just visually, the context. I see him from afar eating the sandwich, right? He takes a big bite out of it. And I'm watching to see, like, what his reaction is going to be. Like, is he going to look down at it, like, with admiration? Or is he going to, like, look up and be like, oh, thank you, God, like, another day? He took a bite out of it, reams back, and just bombs the sandwich, dude. He throws the sandwich across the street, just like, boom!
Oh, my God.
It just lands on the other side of the street in the sidewalk. And I'm like, what the heck? Weren't you just asking for something to eat?
Was there, like, bacon on it or
Yeah,
something?
I could only think, like, maybe it was a topping he didn't like.
Yeah, he's like, I don't eat bacon.
I'm so hungry. A bacon ball.
What is this shit? Yeah.
He just throws it, right? So that's pretty crazy. Get to the parking garage. I'm driving back to Ben Salem because I'm trying to get to the movie on time.
Of course.
I'm on the Vine Expressway, you know, right before you go to the down ramp on 95.
Mm-hmm.
There's homeless people that walk up and down the side.
All the time.
Dude.
Of the on-ramp?
Yeah. Right before you get down, right before you go on the down ramp, to get onto 95 on the Vine Expressway.
Yeah.
There's homeless people that walk up and down. They usually have signs like, hey, I'm a vet. Could you spare any change? Or, like, they have a dog with them or whatever. So I'm I'm driving. I got the door locked, you know what I'm saying? So because after that experience, I don't know why, like, I was just kind of tipped off today. I was like, that was a little weird, right? So I have my door locked. Usually don't have my door locked. But I see this guy, and he's making eye contact with me through the window, and I'm just like, sorry, man, I don't have any change. Yeah, like, pretty intensely, right? So I'm about to drive on the down ramp. There's 3 cars stopped in front of me. Everyone's honking. So I see all these right turn signals, and they're turning around the car, right? I don't know what's going on up there because it's 3 cars in front of me. As I turn, and I'm going down the ramp, I look to the left of me. The homeless guy, right, that was walking up and down the street. Same day, mind you. This is all today. I'm still baffled, right? Has his hands over his head like this and is, like, Dragon Ball Z style downward striking on this guy's rear view mirror. There's a stopped car, and he's, like, assaulting it with his hands. He doesn't have a bat or anything like that.
Does he have, like, a weapon?
No, dude. He's, like, literally just over his head, just, like, smashing
Hammers,
his
yeah.
Dude, and it fell off. Like, it didn't bend down or anything like that. I watched it fall off, and the guy speed off and go to the left. Crazy. Gets crazier. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. This all happened today. Going to the theater, watch Princess Mononoke. There's moments where Ant's literally like, oh, like, really loud in the theater. I'm just like, just contain your excitement. It was funny, though, right? He's never seen it before. We get out. We're talking about the movie. We get out of the movie. We're going to the car. This guy comes up behind us. He has a shoe box, like, he just bought shoes, right? So I know, like, he has money. I say that to preface what he's about to do next. So we're walking to the car, right? I swear to you, man. We're walking to the car, and he goes, man, y'all don't remember me? I'm like, excuse me? We didn't even know he was there. He turned around. He's like, y'all don't remember me? I'm like, no. I'm like, do you remember him? He's like, I've never seen you before. We keep walking. He's like, hey, man, how about $5? We're like, hey, sorry, man. Like, we got somewhere to go. He's like, how about $2? We're like, nope.
All right.
He walks to the side of us, right? Because at this point, he's behind us and we're walking forward towards the car. He walks to the right of us, circles around, gets in front of us. He's like, how about $1? And we're like, hey, man, I don't know where this is going. But yeah, like, we're not giving you any money. And literally, Ant just splits. Like, he dipped. He went to the right. He's like, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
No, not cowardly, but just like he was done with it. He was like, all right, see ya. I just walked past this guy. He's like, man, yeah. And then he's just started like mumbling or whatever. But the moral of the story today is when it gets cold, people get desperate, dude. I'm telling you.
The moral of the story is you attract homeless people. Just angry homeless people.
That guy wasn't homeless.
If Andrew went to Germany.
Yeah.
There's like bit.
Oh my. Bit.
Yeah. Like, keep walking. That's why I yelled to somebody.
That guy wasn't homeless, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm not compassionate or anything. That guy that came out of the mall, he bought shoes. I don't know what he wanted the $5 for. Like, there's free parking at the mall. I don't know what his deal is, but
That touches on my second biggest fear that I just discovered.
what's that?
Aggressive homeless people. Like
In general, like, is that serious?
So yeah, like the other day I just realized, like I had this new job in Center City, so I've been taking the train every day.
Were you taking Suburban?
Yeah, to Suburban, and
have you walked through, as it's called, Homeless Alley?
that seems like every corridor is like.
It's the part in between Suburban and I think.
Oh no, I go straight
13th
up.
That's under.
No, I haven't tried to figure out the.
I've taken it. When I used to work downtown, me and a coworker, we were running late to catch the last train home. To the regional. So we went to this out, dude. It's maybe like 2 blocks underground.
2 blocks underground is like feels like 2 football fields.
No, it felt
That's
like
where the Ninja Turtles live, man.
That's where you see Master Splinter run out.
What are you doing here?
It felt like an eternity. It literally felt like an eternity, bro.
Well, no, I mean, so I've just realized that a lot of days I've found myself standing on the platform, like, with my headphones in.
Yeah.
And some days I'm worried, like, now that it's cold and there's a lot of homeless people down there, that someone's going to push me in front of the train. I don't know why.
That's a little irrational, because nobody would get anything out of killing you.
Right. But then again, like, if someone's not even in, like, the right state of mind.
Yeah.
And it's super irrational.
Why stand so close to the platform?
Dude, you know how it is? People, like, fight for the first spot. I mean, not the first spot, to be, like, the first, like, 10 people on the train is, like,
I never sit
old
on
ladies
the train,
are...
bro.
Huh?
I never sit on the train.
Well,
I guess you're so courteous.
Yeah.
No, not even that. I'm
so
just
brave.
not saying because I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted.
Sean's like, I will not sit down.
Bro, I stand at the door.
Take my seat.
I stand at the door on the side that doesn't
No, hell
open.
no, dude. I find the
I stand
first...
there.
I'll sit next to anybody. I don't care.
Power
makes
stance.
himself comfortable.
Yeah.
I power stance it.
I'm one of the people that
Keep
I'm
your
like,
feet locked in.
I'm like
You gotta power stance
stretching,
right there.
putting my deodorant on. I do whatever.
Man,
on
I
the
brush
train.
my teeth in the train.
You're an animal.
No, but really, like, I stand real close to the platform, and I just found myself, like, headphones in. Like, I'm not aware of my surroundings at all.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that's just, like, a fear now.
I
Like,
think the AirPods is like that's like the
I don't have
newfangled
AirPods.
thing. Everyone has.
It's also a sign of status. Someone sees your AirPods,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's got money.
dude, I've seen people smirking me because I don't have AirPods. Like,
Yeah.
I have the green cords, like some Sony headphones.
Like,
earphones.
Wow, you're pretty retro, man.
Yeah. They're like, you're a refugee
yeah,
or something.
What is this, like 1987?
Yeah.
What
You
is
having a
this,
hard
Yeah.
month?
Yeah, did someone donate
You
those to
having
you?
a hard month over there?
Yeah.
Are those skull candies?
Yeah. I'm sure someone's gonna make knockoff AirPods eventually.
So redemption arc, real quick, for the homeless, or you know what? We'll just call them people that spend a lot of time outside. I was parking. I was wondering when you guys were gonna laugh.
I thought he was gonna say like the less fortunate.
like they're home challenged or something.
Messed up. Like, hey, you guys really must love the outdoors.
Yeah.
Huh?
You
really
play
love
frisbee
nature.
golf and
So,
Hey, how your toes feeling?
so I just got back from Anime NYC, which is really awesome. And the best way to go to New York
He
for
has the
any
power
Ben
of God
Sound
and
people,
anime on his side.
dude, I love that video. We should, man, I wish we had a young Jamie type. I'd play that video right now.
yeah. Can you pull up the video?
That's what Jay used to be. Dude.
Hey,
Rest
Jamie,
in
can you pull
peace.
up the video?
Yeah. And we all turn, and then like as soon as there's music on, you have to cut it off. Right?
sure-
away.
I'm sure-
Yeah,
sure we can do it.
we're gonna get
Sure,
He's
we
always
can do
like,
it in post.
"Is that music?"
Yeah.
But I'm on my way to Anime NYC, and so the best way for everyone to get to New York from here is to get dropped off at the Trenton
Trends,
Transit
yeah.
Center. Yeah, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
So for 3 days, parking is $70. So I was like, I'm not about to do that. So a little hot tip for anybody going to New York: all you have to do is literally drive 5 minutes like north of the transit center, and there's just residences there. Like, there's not a lot of cars, especially on the weekends, and you can just park there. You know what I'm saying?
Seems legit.
Yeah. Okay. So exactly.
It's really dimly lit.
It's Trenton, so it's
all the
really
houses
nice
are boarded up. Yeah.
No, I parked it across from this abandoned convenience store that was called like Mugax, like Pizza Shack or something like that. So dude,
great parking spot.
There's no cars there.
Hey,
it's so
If
weird.
you see Mugax, you're good. You go further,
dude.
Turn around.
I took a picture
Mugak
of it
knows
because
me.
I was like, that's how I'm gonna remember like where I parked. Like I'm gonna put this into the GPS later. So I was very skeptical as to like, all right, is something gonna happen to my car? So there was just some dude that was outside, you know, and he looked kind of haggard. So I asked him, I was like, hey man, do you think my car will be cool here? And he was like, on this street? Yeah, it'll be great. He's like, I'm out here all the time. You might see me. He's like, it's going to be okay, man. Don't worry about it. And for some reason, I decided to trust him because he goes, how long is it going to be here? And, like, I shouldn't tell anybody how long my car is going to be by itself.
Was this like a longshoreman, like, on break from the seas?
Yeah. Dude, he had a yellow rain jacket on.
I've been like, bro, you're talking too much. I'm not parking here now.
I got to get back to the steamboat in 30 minutes.
Well, he was smoking. Maybe that lent it.
That's how my neighbor sounds. Yeah. She's a woman.
Did he ask you?
Did
Did he ask you if you wanted the pecan pie?
The pecan pie is special. I wouldn't trust that guy, but
we got orange soda, grape soda.
I probably wouldn't trust
Sit
it.
down, sweetheart.
Yeah, I decided to trust him for some
He's
reason.
like, yeah, your car will be fine. Yeah.
He goes,
I just got me, my cousin Smithy, and Bimbo. Hey, Bim. Nah.
Smithy.
I go, I'm gonna leave it here for 3 days. Like, do you think it's gonna be cool? And
Why would you tell him that?
And he goes, it should be fine, man. It should be all right, blah, blah, blah. So, like, here's what's crazy. I'm walking away,
So
right?
you're missing an airbag.
I'm walking away. And as I'm walking away, you know how you do that double take? You always do this where, like, you double take, you look back at your car to be like, all right, make sure the hazards are off, everything's cool.
Yeah.
So I look at the car, and then I look back at him, and he was looking at me. So that tipped me off, right? Because, like, he was already looking at me.
Was he rubbing his hands?
He was going like this with his handlebar
We
mustache.
got a big score.
He was straightening out the curl. So
I look at this idiot.
another one in my trap.
Yeah, I'm picturing like a 1920s like
he anamorphs to like
bodybuilder
he anamorphs to
boardwalk
like
guy.
a rat, and you just see whiskers.
He talked like this, but he had a top hat and a cape. So the weekend was great. It was awesome. Came back, and it's kind of that moment of truth when I was walking from the transit center. It's a 15-minute walk, and I was like, I wonder what state my car is going to be in, right? So I turned the corner after 15 minutes of walking, and it's perfectly fine, right? And I'm like, wow, like he was right. You know, the car, there's no ticket, there's no boot, everything's great. And so this is at 7 a.m. in the morning, right? I go to unlock my car, and I hear, hey! I'm looking around, dude. I hear his voice, I don't see him.
Yeah.
Hey! I'm looking around, don't see him. Over here! I look up. This dude is on the roof of a house, chilling, smoking.
He goes under the car.
Takes a drag, puff. I was looking over it for you. And I was like, oh, cool.
That
He goes,
is amazing.
He goes, check around it. Make sure everything's cool. No flats or anything like that. Check around. Everything's cool, man. Hey, thanks so much. He said this. And this is like my motto from here on out. He goes, have a sensational day.
Oh, my God. Dude, I think you met a fairy. you met your God fairy.
As I was driving to church, I was like, why am I going to church? Like, that was an angel. Like, I feel like that was
He
something.
literally said he was watching over you.
He goes, I was watching over it for you. No sarcasm. And then, like, when I got back here, I, like, really checked it to make sure everything was cool, and it was fine.
Oh, when you said you heard his voice, I just picture him, like, rolling out from under the car. I tuned it up for you.
He's on one of those, like, little wheelie
I saw that you were having a little oil leak, and I decided to take care of it myself, save you some trouble.
I took the dipstick out. And,
you know, me and Smitty over there, we're telling Jimbo to leave the car alone, but we said that we
That's
got it.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's my redemption arc for the people, the outdoors people.
Dude, that would have made my day. I'm sure it made your day.
That was cool. It was the cherry on top of like a very ice cream sundae type weekend. Anime NYC was like awesome.
And then Philly had to kind of bring you back down to earth.
Dude, Philly just had these crazy people in it,
Yeah.
dude. Like, it felt like the setting of Akira
Dude,
or something
You
like
guys
that.
should have seen it. Did you hear about the fucking car that blew up on 95?
Yeah.
At the Ben Salem
Yeah,
exit?
Ben
No,
Salem.
what happened?
I heard it shut it down for like
Bro,
hours and
it was
hours
like
and
a
hours.
tanker or something
Yeah,
like that.
like across all the lanes.
all lanes, fire.
That's all my dad would talk about.
Exploded.
He's like, there was a big crash there yesterday. I had to go a different way. I'm like, it's not still there. Like, they
It just
definitely
shows
cleaned-
like how exciting your dad's
yeah,
life is now.
yeah. No, that was like
Bro, if
the
you think
highlight
Street
of his
Road's
day.
bad, if you think Street Road's bad, you should have seen it on that day.
Oh God, yeah.
That sucked. Man,
Yeah.
because I was coming from.
That's my mom watching the Eagles. If the mic picked that up.
I hope they win. I hope they just scored.
I think they might have got scored.
Yeah, I was just in San Francisco, and you hear all the bad stuff about the homeless people out there, because, I always hear shit where it's like they smoke crack and like right in the open, and they'll just take shits everywhere, like, which is true. There is a lot of human shit everywhere, but it wasn't as bad as
Dude, name a great city that doesn't have that.
No, well, I mean, they're like notorious for it. Like the Tenderloin is like, I mean, do you see people smoking crack here, like out in the open?
Nah, probably not.
Like, I saw people smoking crack, shooting heroin. I mean, I've seen people shooting heroin here, but it was like, I pictured it was gonna be like Apocalypse Now or something, and it was not bad. Like, here is definitely worse with like kind of sporadic, erratic.
When you get to downtown LA, there's a lot of tents. Like, that's when you start to see that the congregation of just like numerous.
Dude, I went to LA for the day, met Alchemist, Mayhem Loren.
You met Alchemist?
Mm-hmm. DJ awesome. Muggs from Cypress Hill.
Whoa, man.
Dude, Cypress Hill was selling his personal collection of records at Rap Cats.
That's awesome.
Dude, we drove like 6 hours to go. It was amazing. They had like 40s for everyone. He was just selling. I bought like probably like 10 records from him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, he was there, and like they were all there, like signing shit and just hanging out. And,
were you just down for the weekend?
Yeah, I went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I left from work on Thursday and just went straight to the airport. And I mean, dude, it was so worth it. I want to go back to LA because it was like.
Who'd you go with?
I don't know if you guys know Quentin. He went to Ben Sam. Yeah, Q.
Yeah, I know Q.
Yeah, I was chilling with him, but yeah, dude, it was so much fun. The
so
weather out there.
You like LA?
I did, but I was only there for like 10 hours.
Back here and it was 30 degrees.
I do legit. The day I got back, I was wearing like a hoodie because over there it's like kind of cold at night, but not like nothing crazy. I got back and it's like rain, snowing, and it was like 30 degrees.
I forget what day of the week it was. I think it might have been Monday. You said you got back Monday?
I got back Monday night. It was Tuesday that it was like snowing and stuff.
Okay, so it was whatever day it was, Monday or Tuesday. The morning was around like 55, 60 degrees, where you could have, like, I was wearing this, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's enough to get
nice
to
coat.
Keep a nice little Sherpa.
I like it. Yeah, it's a nice coat.
It's nice. Very comfy.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky Brand. Get it now.
Oh. Little plug.
Little plug.
Sponsor.
Yeah, I wish. That'd be
Put in promo code.
So I get to work, right? Out of nowhere, around like, I don't know, 2 hours later, it's like 10:30. It starts blizzarding. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah.
It was a blizzard in Horsham. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was heading home, it was like 5 o'clock. I'm getting in my car, freezing.
But clear.
It was
clear, though.
It was clear, but it was at least, it had been like 17 degrees.
You saw my flex picture, right, from my desk?
Did I?
Of City Hall?
Yeah.
Like, from, dude, that view when the snow comes in is crazy.
It's nuts.
You just see it take over the whole city.
Yeah, and you hear the wind up there.
Like, you can't see anything for a little bit, and then I just got back to my desk and looked up, and it was like completely gone.
Yeah, it was so weird. And ever since that day, it's literally just been like
cold, real cold,
kind of bone cold. Yeah, you like feel it in your like joints.
I feel like I almost caused it. It's like you thought you could get away from here.
Like, LA, huh?
Yeah. You wanted to go to LA? And I was wearing a T-shirt.
Bow.
It was like
amazing.
With this
New York weather in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Bow.
Yeah, hold that.
Hold that. Yo, chew on that. Chew on that.
But I mean, San Francisco was cool. But LA was like, I mean, I sound like a fuck boy, but it was a vibe. It was really nice. Like,
yeah.
Except, dude, you do see, like you said, like 20 tents in a little group, like,
yeah.
Do you remember
just next to each other, like just a bunch of tent cities.
The communities, like huge communities.
Yeah,
I know. I always bring up Germany, but do you remember when we walked past Tent City in Germany, in Berlin?
It was like a tent town, dude. It was like
that kind of blew my mind because we were having troubles with this. I think I've told the story so many times. We were having troubles with this homeless guy.
A couple almost.
He wouldn't leave us alone. It was pissing me off.
Not wearing shoes.
I'm the only one. Ben did learn how to do it, but at that time, I was the only one who knew how to navigate.
What? No, dude. I know how to
the
avoid
trains?
Homeless people. Oh well,
I'm saying the trains.
The trains. Yeah, I thought you meant how to navigate around homeless people.
No.
Like,
No. What I meant, I was trying to navigate.
Don't look. Just keep
no. I was trying to navigate to which train we had to get.
Oh yeah.
And this guy was
give me like a day, and I can figure out any.
Yeah, he got it. So
day or two.
I did it like the first 3-4 days.
I don't speak German, so that was a big.
Yeah. So I was like just.
I was following you.
So and he kept following us, and this dude kept asking for money. Dude, he followed us inside to outside, back to inside,
then to outside,
and we had to catch a train to get to this club. And he kept following us. I'm like, dude, I'm not getting on the train with this guy. So I was trying to get us
Ease
out.
him off, yeah.
No, not even ease him off. I was trying to lose him. But you also have to remember that he knows this area 10 times better than we do.
He lives there.
He lives there.
He lives in that building.
And like he looked like freaking The Room.
No, I thought he looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's how I remember.
He had long ass hair,
like long black hair, like the.
Yeah,
you're talking okay.
Brown or black, I don't remember.
It was mangy. I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely mangy.
It was real mangy.
So we lose him, then we get to the club, and I was just like thinking about the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like,
yeah, but I mean.
Overseas.
A small transaction, just a small. He was saying as if like you giving him money is like a transaction.
Yeah,
So I guess his English was like just a small like.
Right.
He's probably asking like just 50 cents or whatever. We're like,
what if it was though? What if he was gonna actually have a transaction? Like he was gonna give you some sort of service,
like a gold doubloon.
Yeah,
like
no.
Cool,
you give him like a few. What's the German currency?
Sterlings.
You give him a few sterlings.
And also francs.
Dude, he gives you this like crystal ball or something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And he just like stares into your eyes and the world kind of stops for a second.
Yeah,
and he chants something at you and like then you get this glowing in your forehead and then and then you have like powers.
The funny I was wondering where this is going.
The funny thing at first when he asked for money, I'm pretty sure I said like sorry, like no.
Yeah.
I said it in German and then like Shane and Oz were just like going back and forth with the guy.
Well, yeah, because Oz and Shane, which I love about them, they just wanted to like, it was more like playful with the guy, like where me and Sean were just like, we don't want to be around this guy.
Well, that's the thing, like.
So you had two parties, you had two of them who were like recording him and laughing with him.
Yeah, I was like, "What's up, bro? Like, can you
Ben
just
and
leave?"
I are like, yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
I think it's because we had the lack of sleep we had. We were just irritable.
Yeah, Oz and Shane slept like babies. We were
up. We didn't sleep like the first.
Slept like
maybe
4 hours
hour?
the whole trip.
The whole trip, 4 hours.
But no, it's not bad.
I was watching Game Grumps one time, and Eagle Raptor said this. He was like, with homeless people, it's tough because when you ignore them, like after they get ignored so many times, they feel like they can do anything because like they kind of feel invisible, right? So like that's like when they get a little more aggressive because everyone's ignoring them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing to do is to acknowledge them and politely decline, which is like, hey man, like sorry I can't, like. And I know you're rolling your eyes because like that's so hard to do because as soon as you engage, like they take that as an invitation to engage more, which is cool. I mean, because like as you're not getting hit or anything when somebody says that, and that just shows like their misunderstanding that not everybody that comes across them can help them. At the same time,
you have to be careful sometimes in some instances with certain people who like kind of have like nothing to lose.
Oh,
whereas like so like. If you help them out and you say no and you acknowledge them, like I said, that could be their 1,000,000th one of the day, and now they're just like irritable, and and then shit could pop off. Not saying that it would, but that's also the same as if you ignore them. You're that
I've
one
heard
who
that too.
ignored them
I've heard that.
times.
That's a pretty old, right? Like adage, like look them in the eyes. Like I doubt they
don't
just,
look them in the eyes.
But
you just got you just gotta glance at them. Don't look them in the eyes. Sorry, for you to say that like insistently. You should just like
just put headphones in.
That's the great thing about headphones. But half the time I had headphones and I wasn't even listening to music because I was just like, I was on edge.
And it's not like 100% like rule all the time. Don't ever look. Don't ever like. Of course, like give people money. Give people whatever, like
donate if you can.
I would say give people snacks until today, bro, because you never know.
Yeah.
They might just not like the carrots, but at least you gave them something.
We at the bonfire that Sheldon didn't come to,
the one I didn't know about.
I told you and the whole group chat for like weeks.
Ooh,
I knew you were gonna. I knew you were gonna say that, but
stinky.
I knew you were gonna say that. But the homeless lady,
the
notorious homeless lady, came into our building, and like, then my neighbor, who his girlfriend is, well now fiance.
Congrats.
Golf clap.
She makes food. She's a chef, so he made a little container to like run out and get her. She it was freezing out too, and she said like, no. So it's like sometimes you're like,
what was her end game? Was she like trying to find a way to stay inside?
Well, that's what she does. She sleeps in our hallways sometimes. If you leave the door open, it does. But like, so that night we had people over.
Coming
in. You wouldn't know, you weren't there, but we had people over, and we so we propped the door up. Yeah. That's the only time she can get in is if the door's propped. But if not, then she can't. So every time she's in the building, it's our fault.
She old, young?
No, she's like, I mean, it's hard to tell. She's probably like 50.
Just older.
On the dot. But yeah, I knew who she was from all that like distance away because she always carries the same bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she like talks to herself when you engage. So, but I don't know. But so he offered her food. I'm just saying there's times like that where you offer food and they're just like for somehow like offended. I don't know. Like
yeah, it's weird.
But how are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to know if that person's gonna get offended, but this guy could really use it? Like
there's no rules of engagement. I mean, it's everything else. It's like a case by case basis.
There's no rules in the streets.
There isn't.
There's none.
So enough about homeless people.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. You're the one that has the fear, man. You're the
well,
one that's
yeah, I know. It's like I'm getting triggered. It's a different topic.
Move forward.
Dude, tomorrow on the train, I'm just gonna be like looking over my shoulder.
I listen to Are you into Maddion? You ever listen to Maddion?
Heard of him?
I don't know who that is.
Porter Robinson. It's like an artist that's very similar to him, but they just dropped a music album called Good Faith, which is another like gospel themed thing. So it was very like it's like electronic companion piece, but it made me think like how mainstream that music has become. Like I remember listening to like really like just kind of elementary style techno like when I was younger, and you know how like when you're listening to music as a kid, some people like will take your headphones out like, what are you listening to, man? Like that happened to me one time. Like somebody popped the earphone out of my ears like, what are you listeting to? And like they started listening to this techno I was listening to, and they're like, oh, what is this, video game music? Like, oh, dude, you're a nerd. Like, it was
everyone crowds around.
It was like so pig-headed. It was like, oh, what is this, like from Frogger, dude? Like,
Frogger?
It would give me such a hard time.
Was his name Chad?
I don't know, and I felt
Chad.
I felt so self-conscious at the time, and it's so funny because like now years later, there's like multi-million-dollar festivals where people go out.
And this is exactly what I said to you on Instagram when you put up that picture of that you put up a picture of, I forget what anime it was, on the side of some building.
Oh, it was the Attack on Titan. That was an advertisement. There's an Attack on Titan decal on a city or a mural to advertise Anime NYC.
So what I was telling Andrew is that 10 years ago, it could even go for video games or whatever is considered nerd culture.
Yeah,
is now one of the driving forces in pop culture.
It's cool to be a nerd now.
Yeah,
it's cool to be a nerd now because all rappers are nerds. That's
what you know how many like nerdy references you'll hear in a rap song about
Uzi.
some. Yeah, like
talks about it.
Well, he based his first 3 albums off Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, which is probably like the least nerdy comic you could read.
I mean,
but it's still very culty.
It is,
like,
but there's a movie. There's a huge movie with like big actors.
Oh no, of course. But still, when you think of like Scott Pilgrim, like it was a Canadian.
That's true.
It was a Canadian comic. It was
just,
I mean, I remember in high school, or even before that, like you're saying, it was not cool to like anime or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew you guys and you watched that stuff, but then I remember like
I was also intensely bullied, but go on.
Yeah, by me. And but I remember
a lot has changed since then. We put our past behind us.
Yeah.
Flaming Smash.
I'm bigger now. You can't push me around. No, but then there was a time I don't know if it was in high school, honestly. It might have been afterwards that I noticed like, wait,
a switch.
Yeah, like, wait, like Dragon Ball is like a thing. Like, I mean, well, Dragon Ball's been a thing for decades. Yeah, but it became,
you know what,
popular
it was,
within like again popular to like a way bigger audience.
Resurgence.
Yeah, and then you started seeing people like, I always liked it.
Yeah.
Like I always watched.
No, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, Samurai
So
Champloo.
what I think it was.
We'll always do that.
Couldn't even say the name.
So what I think the switch was for that. A lot of people don't realize that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were off the air for a very long time. It was just reruns. Like GT happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
So there wasn't original source
Episodes to watch like for how long?
Since almost
decades?
20 years. Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So Dragon Ball started the wave where they did like a little test run. So to see if the response is still like, strong for it. They threw a movie together that was dubbed and subbed and debuted on the same day. Battle of Gods.
Well, I hate to be picky here. It was, it wasn't dubbed until like months later.
Well, that's how it came out dubbed.
No, you're talking about simulcast, where like they have both the Japanese and English available at the same time.
Yeah.
It wasn't simulcast.
I thought it was.
But no, you're right about the fact that they were like testing the waters. It was an anniversary project, and it did really, really well. And it kind of like revived the series. But yeah, man, it's cool to love nerdy stuff now. That's why, like, when I'm at Anime NYC, and people are like, "Oh, dude, like, you're going to an anime convention?" And yeah, of course, like, you have like the people there that are kind of your typical nerds, like the Comic-Con type of nerds, but you also have people that are just like interested in it. And I went to an Anime NYC after party, and it's like, whoa, like what kind of dancing is there going to be?
How many
like,
furries were there?
dude? It was none of that, man.
How many Sonics?
It was a party dedicated to like 90s babies. Like they played like music off of the Goofy movie soundtrack, and dude, people were turning up.
That's kind of funny.
People were like, people were turning up ironically, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they knew it was silly, and then they just started playing some bangers. So
damn,
you have people that are dressed up like a Sub-Zero, like dancing with like Street Fighter people. It was pretty cool, man. Like
that's fun. People can just.
The funny thing about
that's what I
just
thought.
do what you want to do.
I feel nowadays, because the internet is so popular, interest-based conventions and events are filled with so many different people that's like going to anything else, you know?
I think you're starting to see now, like, the younger generation, younger than us, they're way more accepting of just...
Bro, there's no rules.
That's so true.
Yeah,
my sister's age group, she's 18, about to be, she's about to graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
There's no rules with that age group.
I don't remember there
It's
really
so
being with ours either. Honestly, like...
It was on its way out.
Yeah.
It was on its way out, but for them, dude, the things that are, like, in and cool, total opposites from what it was for us.
Yeah.
Complete different.
Which sounds like... It's so stupid because we're only, like, 26, 20... I don't know. But
to them, that's, like, ages.
Yeah.
That's, like, crazy.
I mean... I don't even know what a...
Think about when you were 17...
26-year-olds when I was in...
Think about when you were
18.
17 and 18, how far away 21 felt.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I
4 or
just...
5 years after that.
But I've heard that, like, yeah, there's really no, like, judging of other groups and stuff. It's kind of just like, oh, you get enjoyment out of doing this thing, like, cool. I'm not going to hate on
I
it.
think YouTube was a big driving force for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was the internet.
That's the same, dude. I mean, we had the late stages of getting exposed to the internet, you know? It was, like, still kind of developing with us, too.
I think for us, our age was the whole development period for a lot of things.
Yeah, but then now we're
These
going to
didn't
see
exist
this
before.
generation of people that just had it from day one. It's going to be real weird to see, like, how that has an effect on you. Like it still kind of freaks me out that...
It's a microwave era, bro. The attention span's one thing.
Yeah, well, I was trying to tell my dad that, and he was like, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm like, I don't know.
He's
man.
like, I can't pay attention to this. This explanation's too long.
He's
Then
like,
we
you're
go
boring
back
the
to
shit
the
out of me.
newspaper.
Yeah, but, no, like, I mean, it kind of freaks me out that, like, the parents give kids an iPad at, like, 6. Stuff like that, but it's like, well, I mean, you could give them a book or something else. I mean, my parents didn't give me a book. I don't know what I was doing at 6.
My mom...
like, I was probably watching TV or something.
Yeah.
But
I was
like,
really young when I got
it's different than
mine.
having, like, the internet at your disposal and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
access.
So,
yeah, like,
so for me, I was
it's
really
a little
young
different.
when my mom gave me a cell phone because
Yeah.
I was outside a lot. So she gave me a cell phone
I was with you.
early. Yeah. We were running around and stuff like that. But my first cell phone was 4th grade, I think.
4th grade?
Let me ask you guys a question.
No,
Did your
mine was
parents... You know how, like, back in the day when cartoons are online, it'd be like, fruit by the foot, like, ask for your parents' permission before you go online. Like, remember how commercials used to do that? They don't do that anymore, which I think is awesome. At least I haven't seen that happen. Did your parents let you go on the internet, like, when you were a kid, like without your supervision?
With, like, dial-up?
Yeah. In moderation.
Yeah, back in the day. Like,
Yeah. In moderation, though.
Yeah. But they probably shouldn't have, because I was already doing things that I was looking up, like, Beyonce naked.
Oh, dude,
things like that. Like, you know?
Dude,
And it would take, like, 20 minutes for it to, like...
Right.
Yeah, so you were nervous? You're, like,
yeah,
looking
like
at the door and
Beyonce
stuff?
boobs.
Right. I bricked my mom's
Beyonce.
computer when I was in
Sweet.
5th or 6th grade. I broke my mom's computer because I got it a virus for trying to download, like, LimeWire.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was in 5th or 6th grade. And, like,
Yeah.
she said, I was like, can I use the computer? She was like, all right, but I need it for work in about, like, a couple hours. So you only got, like, an hour or two.
You're like, that's all I need.
And then I was trying to find cheat codes. There was a website called Cheat Code CC.
For
Dude,
GTA?
that was the best.
And guess what? If you typed in a C in the wrong spot, like I was, a porn site came up.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, we would go to Ed Kleiss's to download shit off Aries and just watch, like, videos we shouldn't... It was, like, Paint Olympics and all that stuff. It was bad.
My point is, like, that's the same thing as a parent handing their kid an iPad now. Like, the reason your parents let you go on the internet without supervision is because they didn't understand the long-term effects. Like, they didn't understand that what it really was. You know, they were just like, oh, the internet. Like, they can go online and play some cool games, but that's not what you were doing.
Well,
like, you were looking up all sorts of stuff.
When we were young, like, probably pre-elementary, I had a computer, I think, in my house, like, You know,
Yeah,
it
we
was a
did
family
too.
computer.
It was like a Windows 98 or something
Yeah.
like that.
But I don't even know if it had. Well, obviously it had the internet, but I would just use it for like Tonka trucks,
Yeah.
like
I
build
had
your
something
own
like that,
car
and,
type stuff.
Backyard baseball. And
Yeah,
stuff
like
like that.
stuff like that. Like I wasn't even going on websites.
No, it's the
I was
scary-
just playing like little games.
The
and
scary
stuff.
thing
Yeah.
for me is that I don't remember how slow things were.
It was
If you
slow,
tell me,
yeah.
it was unbearable.
and but we're saying it's slow
Actually,
based
yeah,
off
yeah.
of today's
Mm-hmm.
speed.
That's true.
Like when I really think about it, I'm like, I don't remember things being that slow. Like
Yeah, well,
You
you
know
had
what I mean?
zero expectations at the
Yeah.
time.
so, like, and I remember when you
That's true.
download something, and you see that blue, the blue boxes, and it would just go like that, and you see the file like
Mm-hmm.
going like that, and it's at the time, or even like on the internet, like the dial, they don't.
Like 5 days.
Yeah. But
How
the
about-
thing is, until things kept progressing on the internet, the only time you really see how slow something is, like, honestly, if you get like a newer phone and like a phone that's like a couple years old, then you're like,
Mhm.
holy shit, how was I using this phone? Like,
Right.
this is
Yeah.
insanely slow.
It's so true.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it might have an adverse effect on younger people.
It's gonna help them ease into careers a little bit easier. Like it depends. Like, do you want your kid to be really tech savvy, or do you want?
Yeah, well,
them
they'll be good with like
Honestly,
user interface
in
probably.
today's-
But
Almost in today's day and age, it seems like how the world's pushing. It's best to make sure your kid is at least somewhat tech savvy.
Mhm.
It just depends on what part of the country you live in too. Like, I'm sure people in like Colorado who are like really outdoorsy people, the first thing they're gonna teach their kid how to do is like, I don't know, like how to hike and look for berries and make a fire or something like that. Like, not everyone's gonna hand their kid. We live in Philadelphia. Like, we live in the Northeast. You know, it's
You know how
that's-
nice it is to see kids actually playing outside though, like being kids.
Oh yeah. When I went to Italy, I saw kids playing soccer, and our tour guide Mario was like, he was telling us to look at all this stuff. He was like, look at this chapel, look at this statue, and then he was like, now look at those kids. And like, I was expecting him to say something, and he's like, those kids have it all. And then he was like, next. Like, I was
that's
just
really
like,
nice.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cultural, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Culture.
Dude, even for Halloween, this past Halloween, like
Yeah, bro. There was
I-
kids all over.
there's
the
mad
place.
kids. Yeah, and haven't driven my car in like 3 weeks. I've just been taking the train, and like I had to go get a Halloween costume or whatever for the next day, and like
Mhm.
I'm driving. I'm like, I just pictured like every little kid on the street was gonna bolt under my car, and like I was just like,
Yeah.
driving so slow. I was
You were
going like
nervous,
5
yeah.
miles. Yeah, it was
So,
so,
the fun,
bad.
Tony, you remember back in the day how packed clusters used to be when it was Halloween time when we were young?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, even for my mom's neighborhood, it used to be bombarded with kids. So many kids.
Mm-hmm.
Past couple of years, I haven't seen here and there. I haven't seen kids outside that much. And then this Halloween, man,
Mm-hmm.
like they had they haven't done this in forever. They didn't do this last year, and I remember trick or treating in the clusters all the time. They used to have the paddy wagons out in the corner playing like horror music, like the Mike
No.
Mike
Not
Myers
really,
theme
no.
song.
No.
So they did it in my mom's.
That's
neighborhood.
pretty cool though.
So they would have like a paddy wagon just playing the do 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 like the theme
Hmm.
song. They did it again this year, and
I-
there was
I've
dude.
never
There
seen
had
that.
been on the main street in the clusters. I'm saying hundreds. There were so many kids, and I was like,
Wait, this Halloween?
this past Halloween,
Wow.
I've never seen that many kids since when we
Mhm.
were kids
Hmm.
trick or treating in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it definitely
it
did
was
die
so
down.
weird.
It did die down at one point because I used to help my mom and like hand out candy at
Same,
like
I did too. I
in
stayed home a couple
Amwell?
Halloweens.
it'd be empty. Like you'd-
Nothing.
Used to be
We'd,
s-
we'd
yeah.
have a full bowl, like a bowl like that. It would just
Mhm.
be completely full. And
that's a good bowl.
Thanks. Want to guess where this is from?
upstairs.
It's a Halloween candy bowl.
No way.
Yeah, dude, you guys are eating old candy. How does that feel?
5-year-old candy.
99% off. Go get it now.
Yeah.
But no, I feel you. I mean, I live in Philly, so I don't see anybody like in the city. Like, no kids
Well, yeah.
walk around.
Well, you're in Fairmount too.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't want to tell people where you live.
no, that's cool. That's where all the young professionals
Yeah.
live. So
Well,
they're
Manayunk is more
just too cool for school. Yeah.
more neighborhoody. So
Manny Uncle's Boy Meets World.
hey, you wouldn't know. You've never been there.
I have been there, just not at your place.
No, but I don't know.
You
Man.
were supposed to come to my bonfire.
Trick or treating was so lit, dude. Like, the mission
Yeah.
was just to get as much candy as you possibly
Taking
could.
Fucking pillowcases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Go
on
home,
the back
empty them, go
and
back
come
out.
back out.
Did you
Yeah.
guys ever run to like the crafty neighbor that was like cleverly disguised in
Oh,
his
yeah.
front porch to scare you?
Neil Patel's dad used to dress up because he lived at the end of my street. He would dress up as a scarecrow
Oh yeah.
and just kind of like sit there at the front.
See, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting older, I kind of appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Kids break out into that scream laugh where it's like screaming for
yeah. Well, there was a good stretch of houses that did like haunted houses and like themes and stuff.
There's
it was
couple,
really cool.
That's cool.
There's a couple on the Casework.
Too much time on their hands, am I right? Yeah. Someone's got too much time on their hands. Huh?
Could be doing something else.
Full-time job.
What that talking
Make your ass somewhere
No, they
Good
found
job,
something
you
they love.
bozo.
What'd you say?
So they found something that they love doing. Don't
Yeah,
judge them
dude.
for it.
Listen, some people that's their holidays. Halloween. My holiday is Thanksgiving.
Ooh, I love Thanksgiving.
It's
The next day sandwich that you make with all the turkey and
Yes.
stuffing.
Gobbler.
No, yeah, you make like a homemade
gravy
gobbler.
sandwich. And dude, one time
Just gravy and bread.
just pure gravy. No, but obviously it's for anybody who needs to know how to make one of these. After Thanksgiving, it's 2 slices of bread. You get the stuffing, and then you get the turkey, and then you put gravy in it, and you put a little bit of mayo on both slices of bread, so it has a little lubrication. That's how you eat it. But then one year I was thinking to myself, dude, I put stuffing in this sandwich. I literally made a bread sandwich. So you know how bad this is for me?
Yeah.
I'm eating
It's like 1,000 carbs. Yeah.
pure bread and just a
Yeah.
little bit of turkey. Dude, this is really bad. It was like,
Oh my God.
man. But yeah, that's actually my one time where I let loose and just eat whatever I want. That's why it's my favorite, dude.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
I'll be on the computer the whole day. Cyber 5 is like the biggest sales season of the year for like online shopping. That like Thursday, Friday, Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Cyber Monday. It's 5 days.
Is Thursday called something or no?
It's just Thanksgiving.
So let me ask you a question. What are you looking for specifically? Or are you just
We're
looking?
just making sure that no one runs out of budget throughout the day.
Oh, okay.
Or that their ads are actually like being shown, because I just started the new job and they gave me like I'm up to 50 accounts now that I'm gonna have to run for Cyber 5, and it's like I'm not used to it. I came from a job where it was
to the
like
office, or you're gonna be at home.
On Thanksgiving I'll probably do it from home, but then Friday, Saturday, Sunday I might go in. Like it's actually a thing there. Like people bring in beers and food and stuff.
You like this place now?
Yeah, way better than my last place. But the last place was like car dealership, so our budgets were like $1,000 a month or whatever. I'm dealing with ones that are like $50,000 a month
That's
now,
awesome.
like stuff like that. So it's like a lot more pressure.
Yeah.
So like
Do you have a
if
team?
huh?
You work with like a
Mhm.
team?
Oh yeah, a really good team too. Like everyone's around my age finally. The last place I was at, it was like
Were you the
I was one of the youngest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like so much better.
It's good when you have that job after like a big job that gives you a
Mhm.
little breathing room.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you finally go like, oh my God, like I thought I was gonna die, and then
Yeah.
you realize like how much you were lacking at your previous job.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like,
Well, it made me realize how much I didn't know. Like when you're in like this bubble for like a year and a half, close to 2 years, you're just like, I know
I'm
everything
there
that
with
you
you,
need to
man.
know. Yeah. But then
Mm.
you go somewhere else that goes way more in depth into your stuff, and you're like, oh shit, I know like nothing. Like
Yeah.
I changed complete different like career paths.
I know. I still have your business card.
Yeah, that's such protection.
That's a sick job too.
Dude,
Like,
I was there for 2 years, man. But like he just said, sometimes you're at a place where, as good as it may seem on the outside to like people who don't really like know that much,
just the
I
name
was-
is like,
yeah,
it's
I
like
was
sounds like lucrative. Like,
yeah, it was definitely because it's in that part of Philadelphia that's like kind of become like the Silicon Valley.
Old City.
Yeah, there's a part, I forget what it's called, but there's this not little company, they're a really big company.
But in a
Um,
little building.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
they were right near us. They were like
Mhm.
maybe like 3 blocks down.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of them, but they host like video game tournaments, and they're also like a huge. I'll have to get the name. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway,
Mhm.
when I was there, dude, I was stressed the hell out because
Mhm.
one, I should have moved down to the city for it because commuting, taking the regional, then connecting, I was miserable. I had to get up way earlier than I needed
Mhm.
to. My train was almost always late on the regional because, like, unfortunately, someone would a medical emergency or someone jump on the tracks or like
It's a little further out too. Like
and like
to come from
and if
there
you think
and
about
down.
it, like, if I was to drive in, a standard drive if there's no traffic probably take me about 30-35 minutes, give or take. Maybe a little less, like give or take. So I would have to go into the city during rush hour, which is terrible in 95.
Yeah.
So I was taking a train. The train was taking 45 to an hour every day
Yeah.
to get to work. And I get to work, and I'm always sending texts, hey, sorry, I'm going to be late. And then, like, it's also expensive to eat down there. So
Doesn't it
it's-
suck that they make you do that? Like employers are always like, if you're gonna be late, let me know. And it's like, I'm gonna be late like 10 or 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
do I have to send a text if it's that minuscule?
Yeah, and it's like, bro, it was like because I did it for 2 years. I really grinded, and like, bro, it got to a point where I was like, dude, my mental space is just not the city. I was like, the city ain't for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I can't.
Nah, I mean, I was
looking
in the same
back
boat.
at it now.
Yeah.
I was like, if I have the job I have now, but it was in the city, I'd be in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it'd be worth the effort.
Yeah.
When you do,
yeah.
think about it. You sacrifice 2 hours of your day doing nothing.
Even
Sitting
more,
just to
man.
get
Even
somewhere,
maybe,
yeah.
even sometimes more.
It's the worst.
Dude, there's nothing worse when you're done work. Like, when you're done work and you had a really productive day, you're like, I can't wait to go home, just decompress.
Yeah.
I get to a train station, see the red lines at Jefferson, and it said like an hour and 10 minutes like delayed or late.
Yeah,
Crushes
yeah.
your soul.
Yeah, it's like 40-minute delay, 40-minute late.
And then I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can get an Uber. No, everyone else is going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have to go the furthest, so it's going to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
it was like a lose-lose almost every day.
well, it's kind of weird too, like how you're saying about, like I might be 10 minutes late, like that type of thing. The place I came from was kind of odd, like it was not cliquey, but people like gossiped and like they
The people who listen, my mom's freaking out.
but she'll throw
like
it.
people would, I know they would kind of like peek their head up and see you when you came in, and then like pay attention to when you left, like that type
Isn't
of thing.
that annoying?
It's weird, yeah. But now this place, like,
Yeah.
people come in
late.
from like 9 to like
Mhm.
11. Like, it's no one gives a shit.
So-
It's like, just get your work done.
And that's also the thing I noticed when you like start making it finally like a salary
Yeah.
like job. Because
Yeah.
my last place wasn't salaried. Like,
What was it,
and-
hourly?
yeah, I was getting paid hourly and
Damn,
like
I didn't know that.
and overtime, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this place now is like I'm getting paid salary
Mm-hmm.
and overtime is like, oh yeah, there's overtime if you want, you can stay and like
Yeah.
get ahead of your work, or like, because I don't really get behind like ever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, damn, dude, and this is closer to home, and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the sign of
headspace.
bad management, when they're just like, you need to be on your P's and Q's and make sure that you get in here on time and make sure that you log your hours. Good management is always like, here's a task. It's all about how you get this done. Like, whatever is optimal for you for getting it done.
Right.
Like, if you need to come in 3 days or 5 days, as long as it gets done, that's it. Like, we trust you. Here's your salary. So bad management is always like this micromanaging. Like, you weren't here at 7:01.
Yeah,
like, now you
yeah.
have to. It's like, why? You know,
Yeah.
that's stuff
Bro.
that's left over from like academia or like job training, where you really need to be someone who's there all the time. But when you have a task in a profession, like working for a giant corporation or even a medium-sized corporation, it should just be task focused. That's why
Yeah.
if you ever see management like that, it's bad management. You
Yeah,
should
it's a
run
bad
away
sign,
from it
yeah.
as fast
bro,
as you can.
and, like, what's crazy, like, it was just like I said, I don't regret the 2 years I did there. Like, it was a
No, it was
great
a learning
stepping
experience.
Yeah,
stone.
that's
and
that
a
too.
learning-
Like, you just
learning
learn.
thing.
Yeah, you still
But bro,
learn.
like you just said, how management was, dude. At the end of the month, they were like tallying up your casework, and they're like, "Oh, you only did this much. Like, that's okay." I'm like, dude, I just did 150 something cases in a 10-man office.
Yeah.
Like, we're all doing it. Like, we're not Superman. Like,
Yeah.
a case. I'll put this in perspective. So, they wanted to get at least 2 to 3 out per person each day, right? One case can take between 2 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
There's 8 hours of work.
Mm-hmm.
Then you gotta have
So
lunch,
they want
right?
like I said, 2 to 3, and you
Yeah.
got to get your lunch and stuff
Then you
like
have
that.
lunch, go to the bathroom. Your mom calls you. Like, there's a
Bro,
bunch of different
you
stuff.
are grinding, and not even like you
Yeah.
are literally grinding to the point where it's like, some days I was like, fuck, man, it's 3
For no,
o'clock. I
yeah,
didn't
for
get
no
lunch
real
yet, but I
benefit.
gotta-
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
not
and it's like-
benefiting at all from it. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, I was just like spent.
because then if you do more, then they'll be like, oh, you could take on this many, and then you're
Mhm.
really fucked.
Right.
Like,
And
Yeah.
dude, that puts you in a weird spot where it's like, yo, I could crush it this month, but then that's gonna set the bar for next
Yeah.
month.
right. They're like, oh, he can do this.
Right.
Why are we gonna have him do this when he could do it base like that?
Exactly. And
But
like, bro, that's not like
The-
healthy.
dude,
That's not good.
the one thing that I thought was hilarious was like, the people at my job liked me, and I liked them too. I still talk to them. Like, some of them text me and like ask me if I want to go get lunch and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I just thought it was so funny that at my happy hour that they threw for me, the amount of people that came up to me after we had some drinks and stuff that were like, "How did you do it?
Really?
How did you? Like, I've been thinking about it. Like."
Dude, it was
People-
hard. It was hard
people-
for me too.
People on my team, people in the
Mhm.
in the company were coming up to me and like,
Dude,
they're like, how how'd you find time to get the interview? Like, I've been...
Like, older people, too?
Oh, yeah, people that have been there, like, 6 years,
Wow.
7... Yeah. Were asking me, and I'm like...
I don't know.
I was like, I just didn't like it, so I pursued other stuff and got it. Like, I got it somehow, but, like, yeah, like, it was just so kind of, like, eye-opening that, like, it wasn't just me that, you know, feels that.
Yeah,
if a team, if people are coming up to you and, like, you know that there's an issue, and that's how it is with, like, smaller companies. I think they pile more onto individuals than like a place that has a bigger, bigger system in place. Like, you know, I'm doing less, but it's more in depth, so it's kind of equaling out.
There's a higher ceiling.
Yeah,
it's all about the ceiling of growth.
I mean, they're sort of startup-y. I think they've only been.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the place I was at was startup for over 5.5 years.
Yeah, I think this one was like startup for like 10 years.
Exactly.
It's like a startup.
They were saying, some people were saying I was crazy because we were ranked, the year I left, we were ranked number 7 out of top 100 startup companies in like Philadelphia. But I'm like, they've been a startup for like 5 years. Like, I take that kind of with like a little bit of a
grain of salt.
Like, no offense, like we did a lot of hard work, but like you said, like, so my last day was kind of emotional for me because, like, I made some really good friends there.
It for sure was.
Did it feel like a season finale for both of you guys?
Dude,
I get emotional,
so
like,
I'm an emotional guy.
Same,
kind of,
yeah,
like,
so, like,
I mean, the guy that makes the copies for you, he was like, "Hey, Ben."
Yeah, it was the guy from the car.
It was the guy that was watching over my
I've been watching over you, too.
You know what they said to me? So
he disappears, like, slow 90s fade, like... My bad.
It's like, does anyone else see that? No?
No, keep going.
Just me.
Like, so we had like a weekly or almost bi-daily meeting every morning, just like kind of like a housekeeping stuff. So my last day, because I told my manager, who I went to school with, I was like, hey, like, I don't know if I want to tell everyone, because it's kind of hard for me to leave. Because I didn't want to leave because I made such great relationships in that place.
Yeah.
Everyone was the same age. We were all out of college.
That's cool.
Like,
yeah.
So it was a tight place, and happy hours were amazing. She said, yeah, no problem. Then on my last day, she said, oh, everyone, just want to make an announcement. And they gave me like a nice little like gift. It's like, we just want to thank Sheldon for his 2 years. Like,
so that's
he put in his thing. And they were saying all that, and she's like, Sheldon, if you wanted to say anything, you can. If not, we all understand. So I'm sitting there, dude, and I was thinking, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. I was like, nah, fuck it, I'll say something. And as I'm looking at everyone, I felt myself like I didn't
welling
cry.
Up. Yeah.
I was welling up. I didn't cry, but I was welling. And I was like, dude, like, thank you, all you, like, you guys helped me, like, you know, made great relationships, blah blah, all this stuff. And then I was like, holy fuck. So then later that day, we all went to lunch, and like you said, some people come and say, bro, I've been trying to get out for so long, right?
Really?
Stuff like this. So check this out. So I leave. A month after I leave, create a snowball effect.
Yep. Dude, same
5
thing.
people left.
Yeah, dude, same thing happened.
5.
Really?
I've had a couple people text me like, yo, I'm gone.
Yo, that's awesome.
I was like,
So our company was like 17 people.
Yeah.
I left January of this year, right? Since January to now, there's been 5 to 7. It was 5. Well, it was 3 after me. The month after I left, 3 left, and then I think it's been like 2 or 3 since then. But I was like, holy shit.
In like my case, like, I didn't want to email everyone that I was leaving.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want like my boss to like send everyone an email, and they'd be like, what?
My boss has never said good luck to me.
Well, so
let's segue into that. Like, bosses are weird when you tell them.
I hadn't met with her for 2 years that I was there. Like, I knew who she was. We talked and stuff, but I never had like a one-on-one, which is common for any business. Like, you're supposed to meet with your manager.
Yeah.
But
I never had an exit interview either. Did you?
I did, yeah. But I just said good stuff because I mean, I'm not like a vindictive dick or anything. But so yeah, like, so instead of doing the email, we had like a small little back area, and I was just like, hey guys, I got something to say if you guys want to come up here. Retrospect, it is very weird. And like, I asked people about it, they're like, it's a little weird, but whatever. Like, I'm happy I did that. I don't even care. Because it was...
leave no stone unturned.
Right. Yeah. But, you know, I'm telling people, and I'm starting to like say it, and I'm like, feel the welling start, and I'm just like, you know, I contained it, but there's a lot of history between them. They were the first people that hired me after the accident. And
that was my thing too.
Yeah,
like,
so
this was my first real job out of college.
Yeah, I felt like I owed them for some reason.
And I had that in my head too.
They already were talking about putting out the flyer or whatever for the job, like
placing you.
Yeah, during my 2 weeks, like so what should we put in the listing? I'm like, fuck you guys.
You took it a little personally, but dude, I don't blame you for getting emotional, because you gotta think about it. You come in there every day, and like not even on good days, like on bad days, like you come in there rained on. Like if there was a time lapse of every time you
drive
walk
the
through
Schuylkill
the door
every day.
Yeah, like if there was a time lapse of every time you walk through the door and you watched it, you would get emotional, being like, wow, like I spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
My quitting story, when I'll never forget this. I was leaving Bucks County Courier Times to go to WHYY, and at that point, that exact week, they were like, we're going to give you your own phone and laptop, Bucks County Courier Times, like to do stuff. And I was like, wow, like I get my own phone and laptop, like that's cool, like a press one, like that's great. And then WHYY brought me onto the team, so I had that little moment where you go talk to your manager and like,
it's so awkward.
Yeah, because
it's so hard, dude, because you don't know what's the right way to do it,
dude. My thing is like you always open up with, hey, I just want to say thank you so much, like you've helped me, blah blah blah, and then they already know where it's going when you say that, and it's like, but I got this offer. And she actually, my manager at the time was like, how much money? Like she was like right away,
really?
like, how much money? I was like, this much. And she looked at a book and she was like, yeah, we can't top that. And so I was like, I appreciate the phone and laptop, here they are. I'm gonna leave. And I didn't say anything.
Do you not do 2 weeks?
What?
You do 2 weeks or no?
I did do my 2 weeks. Here's the thing, I didn't tell anybody, right?
Yeah.
But somehow like it got out.
Of course.
I was just trying to ghost, and this lady that I talk to every now and then, you know, like there's somebody that you talk
There's
to,
always one person,
and they get little tidbits of your life, but like you never. And she's like, I hear you're getting out of here, and I was like, yeah. And she goes, she's like, that's cool. I'm glad. That's a really good opportunity. She's like, but we're gonna miss you. And for some reason, instinctually, because I don't like when people are sad, like I was like, oh, I'll come back and visit, and she goes, no, you won't. She's like, you.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
she was 100% right.
What are you gonna do? Walk into your old office?
Here's how true it was, though. She's like, you're not gonna come back here and visit. She's like, but it's all right. Like, I hope you have a really good time at WHYY, and honestly, like that's better for you than this place. And I was like, okay. Like I didn't expect such a straightforward answer. 2 weeks later, that company got bought by Calkins Media. Everyone there got let go.
Wow.
Everyone there got let go.
Damn.
Isn't it crazy how things work like that?
Yeah.
Dude, it was nuts.
But dude,
she was right. I can't go back.
Almost the same thing with me. Like the week before I put in my 2 weeks, they gave me a raise, or they gave me a promotion. Promotion of title only, no monetary. And then I put in my 2 weeks, and it just came back to me that I totally forgot like how I even put in the 2 weeks. I didn't do it just by announcing to the people. I went and met with my manager first.
Yeah.
And that's when I teared up. Because I didn't expect her to care. But when I told her, she got choked up, and she was like kind of welling up.
Bro,
and I was like
the exact same thing that happened to me.
Yeah, and I mean, and it was kind of eating me up before doing it because they gave me a promotion. But after it was a promotion with no raise or anything, I was kind of just like, all right, I think we're done with this whole thing. But like, yeah, I totally forgot that was like, I think that was probably the hardest, because I definitely did like.
So,
that's normal,
so for
man.
mine, so you know the new Wawa that's like downtown in Old City?
Yeah, the brewery one. That's a
the really big one.
Yeah, they have their own beer.
It was me,
wild,
a couple of coworkers, and my manager. We always get like lunch together, or at least walk to get lunch together, right?
Yeah.
So, and like you said, I didn't know how to bring this up. Like I didn't. Yeah. It was eating at me and eating
your desk,
at me.
like.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude. So I finally was granted the perfect time, or my bosses left to go to California.
Yeah.
And they weren't gonna be back for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's less heat.
So I was like, fuck this. Like this is where I was like, I have to put up or shut up right here.
Yeah.
So B-Rod, I don't know if you guys met my boy B-Rod. So we're at Wawa.
He was on the show before.
He went like this to me. He's like, dude, now's the time. And I was like, fuck, man, because like he knew, because me and him were talking every day. He knew it was bothering me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't like confrontation like that. I don't like uneasiness.
You're gonna make someone uncomfortable. You're gonna shake someone's world up for a little bit.
So she was standing by herself. She was getting her food. And I was like, Lauren, I have something to say. Like, this is really hard for me to do.
Strumming up.
And she's like, yeah, I had a feeling it was like coming, because I could kind of like see that you wanted to tell me something for the past like almost a couple weeks now, but you just couldn't. And like as soon as she said that, I was getting choked up, and I was welling again.
Yeah,
and
man.
then she started welling, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck.
It's weird, dude.
It's when you see someone else.
We're so tribal, though. Like, when somebody's leaving our workforce, it's like a little member of our tribe is leaving. We're like, oh, no. Like, this
like,
feels bad.
Like, literally, you've seen this person pretty much every day for, like, 2
2
years.
2
like,
years. That's a long time.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is.
Think about it. Like, you were a part of someone's, like, you literally were a part of someone's life.
Oh, yeah.
They saw you for over sometimes
I
8 hours
saw people
more.
have babies. I didn't watch them have babies.
You were there in the hospital for every baby.
Like, I support you.
He's with the doctor. Hey, doc, you doing that right? you need an extra hand?
I just imagine Ben, like, downwind and, like, the baby's coming out. I was like,
with the mask, the surgical mask on.
He's holding hair. He's like, come on.
Just, like, really intimate, like, he's there.
Yeah, you have no idea how close I got with these people.
He's on a rooftop, like, I'm watching over you.
Yeah, I'm watching. But no, I mean, that was tough. But
it's always awkward. It feels like a breakup.
And it kind of hurts. Like, not saying I'm like even think about leaving the place I'm at now. Let's say
I love
there's a
my
couple
job.
years down the line and it happened, it would hurt me. Like like if I was to leave Penn Mutual now, I think it would legitimately like hurt me. I would need like a really significant offer to like make me leave, because I enjoy the people, the location, the commute, the amount of work I have, the amount of responsibilities I have, and obviously monetary. I'm good.
Yeah.
Until I'm not good, obviously.
No, of course.
You know what
I mean, they say that the span of a career is 7 years. I've heard that.
I just
times.
had 2 women in my department celebrate their 25th, and I'm like, but they're also part of that generation.
Yeah, I was gonna say generationally,
where
I was thinking about, like, when are we gonna have time to set up like retirement plans and shit? If our plans are always like jumping to the next.
You just wanna hope that if you have a 401k set somewhere, that it can be easily transferable to wherever you're going next. Because that can be the issue where a lot of people leave, especially our generation of millennials. We're leaving, and we have money sitting somewhere that cannot be transferred to where you're going. So then you have a lot of 401k accounts out there. So
I'm trying to get into them.
Yeah.
trying to get those 401ks.
If you do want to set up that's why some people will set up a 401k by themselves somewhere and not go through the company. So let's say if your company was Transamerica, but you wanted to do Vanguard, you could do that. I don't know if they'd be able to match, because that's the key part, is where they match your contributions.
Yeah, probably wouldn't sit like well with your employer going with another company that you don't work at, right?
Well, no, not it's not that. No, it's like the 401k. So if your company had Transamerica's like a retirement company where they have
I thought it was an airline. Honestly, I had no idea.
It could be too. I don't know.
I'm like, it
might be.
American Airlines.
So it all depends. So if you have, that's my company's like retirement thing. So they're a really big one.
Yeah.
So that money's kind of transferable to a lot of places.
My knees just cracked.
Yeah, I actually heard that.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I told him, it's like, hey, you need to get back in shape.
Dude, those San Francisco hills are no joke.
Oh, yeah, man.
They're steep.
Like, they make Manioc look like a joke. Like, honestly, I do the hill every day to get to the train station.
It's on Main Street?
No, not Manioc Station, Wissahickon, so I have to go down the big hill or whatever.
Yeah.
It's felt like flat ground since I got back. Like, dude, the hills are like this.
What's the name of that big flowery uphill?
Oh, Lombard. Dude, I was staying like 2 blocks from there.
That thing is almost vertical. And what's crazy is that people live on that.
It wasn't that bad.
It's pretty.
It's like,
that like the hill for the
it's
like
narrow.
the kind of the full house houses, how they're kind of set up?
No, I mean, compared to the streets around it,
how do they build houses on those type of hills?
I don't know, but we were laughing about, me and Q. We were like, some explorers just got there and they were like, yo, I could pave this whole place. Yeah, I could pave these mountains.
Because essentially,
why would you want to do
houses
that?
on a mountain?
It is, yeah. That's exactly what it is. And I was thinking, like, when people first came into the bay,
like really high above elevation.
No, it's low. That's what their thing is.
Really?
They're lower than everywhere else. So the fog, their thing is like, what is it? They call it Carl. The fog is like a name. Yeah, it rolls in and it just covers like.
Can you see it coming into?
Yeah. Like, dude, the one day I went.
Scary.
It's
or
freaky.
Weird.
No, like, dude, the one day I went to catch the sunset at Golden Gate Bridge. By the time I got there, the fog rolled in. It looked like nighttime, like pitch black, so much fog, And
is it thick out there too? Like it's super thick. Like you can't see anything.
It's thick, but then like around the water, it's more like misty and like strong.
So
like
so because they're below sea level, they are just more susceptible to like fog.
I guess yeah. He was explaining it to me, but I was a little impaired.
But I don't pay attention.
I was a little impaired.
Does he live out there with his family, or is he by himself?
No, just him. He picked up everything. Someone that we
I
went
commend
to,
people that do that, man. I respect them a whole lot.
Someone we knew, someone that went to BHS too, lives in this place that has like 5 people. They all have their own like rooms and shit. But he was like, there's an opening, and it's like, what's like $900? Like what I pay in Mannion. Yeah. So he just went there. He works like 3 jobs, nonstop, and he's good. Like he's not like check to check. He's just doing it just to amass a bunch of money. Like,
yeah, man.
He's killing it. Like,
dude, while you're young, that's a good strategy. First time I went to San Francisco and I saw Lombard Street, I was with my family, and we like to do just like the sightseeing stuff.
Yeah. And
I feel like with Lombard Street, you're just supposed to like go to the base of it and look up.
That's what people did, yeah.
And like, oh, that's crazy.
Skaters bombing down.
Dude.
No, you can't. Dude, it's literally like...
Dude,
like
we drove down it.
Yeah, I was watching a car. It took like 10 minutes for a car to get down like this one little block.
Zigzaggy?
Yeah,
it's literally
narrow.
the most drastic zigzag ever. So I'm in the car like,
so stupid.
This is not enjoyable at all.
It's
like,
so stupid. Like no other street is like that.
So
literally
what's on the side of it? Houses,
houses, and then
so it's not
the
like
parts
the ocean where it's just like
but it's the barriers are made by like plants, like it's like flowers and stuff.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But honestly, compared to like a street right down the street from there, it's not like crazy steep.
Mm-hmm.
And that had 2 staircases, if I remember correctly, which a bunch of them don't, and they're like legitimately this steep, and you're just like,
that's what I'm saying, man. They're
like I'm not in shape, so I'm like,
so that's why people are hiking out there,
right?
A lot.
You get to the top, and you're just like, you feel like you got to the top of a mountain or something.
Yeah,
like,
essentially you did.
Yeah. And some of the sidewalks have stairs in them. Just because of how steep it is, like yeah, like it's,
San Francisco has the best weather of all time. Also,
it was nice, yeah.
Most Asians I've ever seen.
Asians, too many Asians. And the thing about like California, everyone's like, I always hear like everyone's a model. I didn't notice anything like that.
Ugly people there?
Yeah, I was there. No, you know.
Yeah, but it's also the biggest amount of people living in one state, right?
California? Yeah.
Population density? I'll look that up.
I'm sure it is.
What did I say?
I'll look
like
that up.
It is. I mean, it's the biggest state.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure New York has a second or something like that. But
well, probably in one dense area, it's probably New York, because New York literally has like
millions of people.
1,000 people on one floor, 1,000 on the floor, right? Like just like living like squeezed living in like sardines,
like canopies and shit.
No, but like whenever
you're right, Ben. It's New York has the highest in the United States.
New York,
yeah.
Only in New York.
I feel like
I keep sidetracking.
Why would you do that?
It's crazy. Like I was talking, I forget who I was talking to, but how like. So you know how like the winters. So I don't know how long ago, but let's just say I don't know. We'll say 15 years just for sake of the argument. About 15 years ago, winters in Pennsylvania weren't like winters in like Maine or Vermont, like the amount of cold factor.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, to me, November is no longer like an autumn month. Like, November is almost like a wintry month.
Bitter cold.
Dude, like, and this week kind of shows it, where it's like this cold is like, this is like not a November cold. This is like a different type of
like
cold.
That. It was Cat Williams that did that skit about being freezing out, and the cold's kind of like jacking you for your your coat.
You'll step outside and you're just like.
Wasn't Cat Williams the guy that got beat up by a kid?
Of course. Haven't we all?
Well, I mean that kid wasn't like, he shouldn't have been classified as a kid.
Yeah.
That was a little man.
He'd beat me up.
How are you gonna be Cat Williams and like play football outside with like no bodyguards or anything around? I was just playing football.
Cat Williams
with kids.
made a lot of questionable decisions.
Yeah, he did.
Still got money though.
Of course.
Does he?
I'm sure.
Probably. I thought he was like done. I thought he was over.
I don't think so.
Don't count him out.
I'm excited to see the Sonic movie now, man.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
looks
I'm
good.
about.
Did you like that read on?
Dude, I like the original. I was just like, it's a kids movie. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, Sonic looks scary.
A lot of grown people were pissed about that.
The funny thing about it, a lot of people think that they changed the movie. It's like, no, they just changed his design.
Yeah. Well, They did make the second trailer like a lot more in your face.
I'm sure they did.
But if you also look at the trailers, they took certain scenes that you could tell that they used certain scenes that were the exact same scene
so
from the first one.
Yeah.
But like it was a different moment in the scene.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that part where he's like
people can
meow. Like
Yeah.
my roommate was like, "Well, that doesn't happen second trailer." I'm like, "Yeah, because that was a different dialogue part of that same scene. Like he could still say it for all we know."
Well, I'm sure they weighed the cost benefit.
My thing is, how can you be so tone deaf? That's the only thing.
I feel like they were actually pretty responsive, if anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying off the initial,
You
like
talking
the
initially?
the initial thing.
I mean, that happens a lot with things that are getting remade or they're from existing source material,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
like you have Ninja Turtles, which are very cartoony and silly, and then you Michael Bay it, and it's like, whoa, this seems a little tone deaf, right? I mean, it's Ninja Turtles, but I mean, some people like it, some people don't. That's just Hollywood. Like Hollywood's like, this is a concept that everyone likes, and we're gonna make a movie.
Yeah, but know what
about
the
it.
thing about the Ninja Turtles? I think because the Ninja Turtles, besides the headbands, they all kind of look the same, so you can kind of make the Turtles look a certain way, whereas Sonic is very distinctive.
Specific, yeah.
And specific.
Well,
Like you've been drawing this for 20 years.
And I'll say, dude, that's like my favorite character of all time. And from a design perspective, like he has one big eye, right? So it's like,
yeah.
how do we make that in live action? Like he's basically a Cyclops. So like
Yeah,
that's like the big debate. It's like, well, do we make it one eye? Like, do we make the arms
You
blue?
know, it's the best way of doing it by
What?
not doing it.
No,
The bottom line is
because there's an audience. People will want to see it.
exactly. So here's
Of course, but at the same time, animated movies like dude, just Enter the Spider-Verse. Like they had a Spider-Man movie come out, and then 6 months later they had another one, two totally different things, and they both work.
Yeah.
I feel like if they made a really big big budget Sonic film animated.
This is pretty big budget, man, because you have Jim Carrey in it. Like
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the original trailer
He was in
showing him too much.
Oh, they showed
Did
a
they
lot
show
of
more
him.
of him in the second?
No, they showed more of him in the first one because they showed his Eggman reveal at the end of the trailer when he's bald and has the mustache. They showed that, and then they showed the same.
I guess the
scenes.
Sonic outweighed everything else in the first
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
as it should.
No one
I
gave
mean,
a shit about anything
To
else.
be honest, I haven't seen him doing like his goofy shtick like in a while.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, because he's really been on that like psychedelics and painting and like you know global warming type thing.
Politics.
But,
and
like,
shit.
yeah, like really deep into I guess the opposite of what his
We
characters
just
are.
want fart jokes, man.
Yeah,
just fart.
just stick to your fart
We
jokes.
just want you to yell like,
Yeah.
"Oh, come on!"
Yeah, why don't you shut up and fart?
Yeah, why don't you just go back to the air humping? It's just, you know, but
Yeah, why we fell in love in the first place.
I feel like that's what's really gonna sell this movie. Like people are all up in arms about.
He is the
Sonic, and
perfect
it's just
person
like,
to play Dr. Eggman, though.
yeah, I mean, he's the perfect person for a children's movie, for like a family movie. He's perfect for just like
Remember him as a Grinch?
yeah, like
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'll probably actually. It was a
Grinch critic.
Yeah.
Wait, was he Cat in the Hat too?
No, that was
Yeah, he was.
Michael Myers.
Oh,
Michael Myers? The guy who did Shrek?
Yeah.
That's Michael Myers, or Tom
Yeah.
Myers?
Mhm. No, Michael Myers.
Tom Myers.
Who the
Mike
hell's
Myers.
that?
Mike Myers. Michael Myers is the horror,
horror
dude.
movie
That's like a
character.
That's why I was like,
yeah.
this does not sound
Tom
right.
Myers. It's like a.
Can you imagine Mike Myers,
It's like a
Michael
contractor.
Myers, like with the mask on and like the Cat in the Hat and the machete? Just like,
Yeah, I mean, I might actually end up go seeing this movie now because
You have to.
yeah.
You
the
have
funny
to.
thing about it was supposed to come out this month and it's only been delayed.
Dude,
till,
it was supposed to come out on my birthday. I was so psyched.
it's only been delayed to February.
They'll probably end up making profit off it now.
Oh,
Because it's so polarizing and people have been
I
talking about
wonder
it for so
if
long.
the rework, how much money it costs, if it cost any.
Well, because you have to crunch time the CG artists now. So, like, they have to work twice as hard to bridge that gap because they spent all that time originally, right?
Yeah.
Making the design that probably took like a year to do, and now they have to change it in the span of like
Couple months, 6
4 or
months.
6 months, like, you know. So
But what
now you have
I'm-
to pay like double for
But
that.
what I'm asking is, like, since the groundwork was already, like, the movie was probably close to finished. Since
Mhm.
the groundwork was
Yeah.
already there, to just change the character design,
Mhm.
does that
well,
does that go into every single scene?
It's
Like,
definitely
is
not
it-
strenuous as redoing the
What-
whole
what I'm-
movie.
What,
Like,
what I'm essentially saying is it
Uh,
like you make this design and copy and paste it into the, like,
The-
does it work like that?
the way animation works for computer and like CG stuff is you have rigging. So rigging is like the set of motions that
Yeah.
the character goes through.
is that what the
Right.
balls?
Yeah. The balls represent like the joints and axles of the actual character,
Right.
you know. And so basically, you're taking another character and assigning it to that rigging, right? So if they're roughly the same size and same height, it's cool. But then there's little things like, all right, it's moving to the right. So now we have to make sure that the spines of the like thing are moving according to the. So you just have to adjust little details. Like you can't just slap a new character into the rigging because things are going to look
That's
different.
essentially what I was asking.
The lighting has to be altered. The texture has to be altered. And that's like the tedious part where you have to go through every single frame and be like, okay, like the light has to hit here and like the needles have to be facing this way because he's moving this way. So like they have the animation patterns there. They're just plugging in a new model. Like you could take a video game character from like Call of Duty and plug it into the same rigging. So they would do all that action, but it would just look ridiculous.
So they probably didn't have to do like reshoots or anything.
No, probably not. I mean, they might have had to redub some things, maybe. I don't know, but
yeah, I couldn't tell if it was the same voice actor or not.
No, the guy.
Like, are you excited for this movie or what? Like, I can't tell.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
When the trailer initially dropped, I was like, okay, he looks kind of funny, but I can get over it.
Yeah.
Like, it's whatever. But now it kind of feels like Sonic now. It actually feels like a Sonic movie. Whereas the first time I was like, remember how we were talking about before with the whole Dragon Ball thing with the live actions? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand how you couldn't do that. Yet you made the Superman movie, and that fight scene that they had was exactly a Dragon Ball fight scene.
Are they gonna do Dragon Ball?
They did.
It's hard.
They won't call it Dragon Ball Evolution, but it's just like. That didn't really have a lot of money behind it.
Wait, with like real actors?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But how they did it,
how do you put a face to like some of these characters that people have?
And that's
the big question, yeah.
You know?
But it worked with Harry Potter, I guess. Like, you know what I mean?
But
like,
how long did Harry Potter fans have to build up that relationship with the character before they
maybe 2 years? Because I forget when the original book came out.
Decades, like.
Well, the first book came out, I think, in 1998.
Compared to decades,
maybe I don't know. But yeah, no, you're right.
Harry Potter.
I'm
a pothead. I love me some Harry Potter.
I don't think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm a scholastic learner.
No, so the first Harry Potter came out in 1997. I feel like everything
the book
came out in 1997. Yeah. So let me see.
Yeah, the movie came out in 2001.
The first movie.
First movie. So that's 3 years.
Yeah, that's not really
4 years.
Yeah, that's not.
So
really
that's like kind of short.
Yeah.
Damn. So when did all the books come out? She must have been pumping those.
She was on a serious gamble. Do you know?
Wait, 97 was the first Harry Potter?
Yeah. The first Harry Potter book.
Bro, she was pumping those books out.
Was published in 1997.
I mean, she had a bunch like before she even got the first one.
She had different stories. She was super broke. Like you guys know her story.
She was getting rejected and was at coffee shops or something like that.
I love stories.
I'm sure there's a bunch of writers with that same exact
story. That's just alone. You know, he had to sell his dog.
Yeah, but think about it. Like,
yeah, he had to sell his dog.
Some sick person bought something. They're like,
that's sad. Yeah, but think about this. Like,
$20.
You're broke.
Yeah, take him. He's $30. He pees on the rug sometimes. So I'm knocking down to 25.
Hey, can you help me out? Just take this dog from me. But think about it. You're J.K. Rowling. Like, you're broke and you're struggling, and somehow you're able to like conceive over 1,000-page novel, and then not know if anyone's going to pick it. Like you said, people kept declining it. No one wanted to pick up the book.
Yeah.
And then I don't really know the chain of events because we were kind of young. I don't know when it blew up. I don't know if the movie helped it blow up, but and then she pumped out an additional 6 books.
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's
Did you read those? I feel like you weren't a Harry Potter person.
I think I read the first.
You're not a fiction guy. Like that's what really gets me about you. You're more of like a movie person. You're not a fiction guy though.
Yeah, that's true. But
I like moving pictures.
Yeah, I like the movies. the 50 Cent shows. No, I don't know. Like I tried reading some books like fiction and just it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't really immerse myself into that world. Like.
You know, it's just so over the top.
I just get sidetracked, like shit like that. Like I think you have to be really into it and focus and like block everything out. But I'll be reading a page and just be like, yeah, it just doesn't. It's fun. Never worked.
I felt that way too about like more so like, I guess like the teen books. Like remember when we were like kind of got like those teen ones like Hunger Games, like, Harry Potter stuff.
I thought you were gonna say like Teen Soup. Remember those?
Soup?
Remember for the soul?
The teenage soul. Oh,
yeah, I remember that.
Chicken noodle
but
soup.
Like,
like Teen Soup. It smells like Teen Soup.
Got you new Teen Soup.
Nah, but so Stephen King books,
cream
like
of mushroom.
I can read them.
I'm sorry.
I can read and get through those.
What?
Stephen King books.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, they're a little more. I don't know if it's because like they're scary.
There's a bookshop down the street from the train station I go to, and they leave boxes out front. It says like, take a book if you want one.
Really?
I took one the other day.
There was a place that
what was it?
when I was working downtown.
It's called like Beach House, I think. I didn't open it yet.
You gotta read
It's
it?
on, yeah, it's on my couch. I couldn't. It was freezing out, and I tried to get the synopsis of it from like the first, like the introduction or
Is it
whatever.
an old book?
It looked pretty old, but there was. I mean, people were taking them.
Really?
Like I saw it when I was going to work, and then I came back. There was like a bunch missing.
You ever see the guy on South Street who like just has a ton of books just out in the street? You know what I'm talking about?
Like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Wait, where? What part of South Street?
If you're walking by Atomic City Comics or the pizza places to the right of that,
Lorenzo's?
yeah. It's you have to.
I mean, it's been a couple years.
You have to go pretty far down.
So.
You have to pass Whole Foods, and you'll see him. Like he's out there, and he's just kind of chilling, and he has like a bunch of books on the ground. The most depressing thing I've ever seen is that I saw him with all of his books out. Right. First off, I'm not sure if anybody stops and buys anything from him because like they're pretty old books, and they're just all over the sidewalk. It started to rain.
It's like my books.
This guy had to like, he was like scrambling to get like these 300 books in like a pile.
That sucks.
It's like, dude,
sad.
that's like, yeah, it was so sad. I felt so bad for him. But
Hey
yeah,
man, you should have a tent or something set up.
I'm a biography guy, man. Like I like to know when somebody's had a crazy life, just like to go back and be, because like I love that post honesty where they can't really say it, but they can write down like how they were feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like
Post book clarity.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
You like that?
Hey.
I'm here for the weekend.
I like those, man, because I like reading stories from famous people, and then I'm like, yeah, they had the same exact thought I had.
See, in theory, I feel like I would like those type of books, but it's also another thing to actually go get them and like read them and stuff.
You know,
like,
so much effort.
You know what
yeah,
it is
I'm
for
just
me?
lazy.
What I think that is for me, like,
food.
I wouldn't mind reading like a autobiography.
Yeah.
I think it has to be a person I'm interested in. Though.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously, you pick one that's.
No, I'm saying like, so you like you said, you'd pick one, you'd read it, and like a synopsis, you'd be like, oh shit, I'll read that. Like for me, it's like I want it to be like a Denzel Washington or a Leonardo DiCaprio, like one of those type of people. I'm like, I want to know what happened, like this event in your life, and
like I was just thinking
Rihanna,
like Comedy Store, like history. I'd probably like to
Yeah.
read about that. I know there's books about that. Black Hawk Down, I read that before.
Did you go out to the Comedy Store when you were out?
No, I mean, I told my friend like, we're in LA. I'd love to go, but it's like a 6-hour drive, so we just had to like after the event drive right back. But I really wanted to go, dude. You can go there and see like the top right now, like
it's super cheap too.
Just doing their jokes off for doing
Chappelle might
crowd
be there.
work.
Yeah, but I'm kind of the opposite. I like reading biographies that are about lesser known people that had incredible lives.
Yeah.
Like Into the Wild is a very famous one.
That's a really good book. I've read that book and watched the movie.
Dude, that book that changed
Sad,
my life, man.
That's
Wasn't it about
book.
horses at first or something?
Into the Wild?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Where the Wild Things Are.
That's not even about horses.
no, I'm saying
It's a kid book.
No, I'm saying
about, like,
Where the Wild Things Are was originally it was
Really?
horses as the illustration, but then
Oh.
they changed it to monsters.
Okay.
But I got heard wild.
Nah, Into the Wild is about this kid who had like
see how much I read.
He graduates from high school and he has this like super promising future. Like he has all these scholarship offers from Ivy League schools and stuff, and he's like, I'm just gonna
He's like, fuck it.
leave my home and not go to school and go into like the woods. And so he ends up living this like abandoned bus in the woods, and he ends up freezing to death there. But before he goes and does that, he comes in
like a
contact with
memoir,
all
too.
these people. Like he has these like
heard of
little
that guy.
side jobs. It's a really really good book.
And there's a picture on
Did you see
Reddit.
the movie? You happen to see the movie?
No.
I think the movie does a little bit better than the. So you know sometimes a book can do better than a movie, like visually when you're reading certain things. Sometimes
Never
you just
happens.
read it.
Nope. What? Name one.
Harry Potter. So like something like that. Whereas when you see it in film and you see the events kind of told to you differently, it kind of makes the experience like come full circle in a way.
Yeah, I don't like watching biography movies.
Well, dude, if you like stories about like the untold stories of just random people, I might have told you before, but that podcast Dunlop the Dollop, that's what it's called.
The Dollar?
The Dollop, like
The
a
Dollop.
dollop of daisy, that type of thing.
Okay.
It's a guy who just gets like he picks out some random person from history, gets all their facts and stuff, and then just reads it to his friend across the table who doesn't know what the story's going to be about.
Yeah.
And it's always some crazy. It's like the 5 Points gang, from like Gangs of New York.
Okay.
Like there's like a random guy who was the head of a gang that they did a whole episode about. Like it's just all these like stories that you never really hear about, but they cover them. It's really good.
I like
really
stuff
good
like that.
Yeah.
That new movie coming out with Pacino, De Niro, and
I see that. I heard it's really good.
I don't know if there's a book, but that seems like something I'd want to read.
I heard it's really
Martin
good.
Scorsese directed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It was only in theaters for a
you know
limited
Martin.
time.
Yeah.
You know how Martin gets down.
That's real cinema.
It was only in theaters for like what, 2 days?
Something like it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it'll be on
It's
Netflix like the 25th.
Something like whatever this Friday is.
I don't know. I think 20th. I don't know. But
Thanksgiving this week, or is that next week?
Next week.
So in the same tier as that, there's a YouTube channel called Down the Rabbit Hole, which I highly recommend.
I think I've heard of that. Maybe as a subreddit.
It's more contemporary random people. So it's like people that had like these brief internet phenomenons, like what happens to them. Not even virality, but just like sometimes mysterious
like
stuff.
Burger King foot lettuce.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Wait, was that?
That was a dark period.
You never saw that video?
No.
It's one of those rabbit hole videos.
Please elaborate.
It's like the top 10 unsolved mysteries on Reddit or 4chan.
Just like nope.
It sounds like clickbaity. These ones are like very thoroughly researched. Like every video is like 30 minutes long, and it's very exhaustive as like to what happened.
I'll show you the Burger King foot lettuce one. You're gonna find this hilarious.
All right, I got to show you this one. This time cube video.
No.
Wow.
Like, I'll leave. No, but actually on Reddit there's that subreddit last images, I think, where it's like
someone dying in their last image.
It's like the last time someone was seen before they pass away.
It's kind of scary.
It's pretty crazy. Like people will post like a celebrity who was later in a car accident or something, but they were pumping like James Dean, that famous one of him pumping gas like hours before he crashed. But they posted that one of the guy who went into the wild. I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know his exact name.
There's someone took a picture of him. Like
I'm always skeptical though. I was like, okay, like how do we know that that's
a lot of people don't like him. They're like, he deserved it. Like, what do you expect? Like all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, people are so like
pessimistic.
Just pessimistic. Yeah, just find things to get like mad about.
I think in that particular situation, right, this guy who had so much opportunity, he just decided to throw it all away, and so the illogical choice, when observed, people get so angry, like, why didn't you just do like what you were supposed to? And it's just like, well, life isn't that simple, you know? Like, he's a kid that was curious.
Yeah.
But I'm more into like the deep internet things, and Down the Rabbit Hole is really, really good at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm back on this YouTube channel, but like so there's different stuff that like hasn't really been talked. Like there was this guy who he developed this theory of time called like the time cube, and he's like, time is a cube, you know, and anybody that says differently, that they're wrong. He was very, very
I'm listening.
Oh yeah, I mean like, he was very
You're like this. Going.
Yeah,
dude, exactly.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing.
He was like a religious
not
fanatic.
A cube, but
hexagon.
Well, that's what
Maybe
people were making fun of him just like
yeah.
that. And so he gets invited to these schools like to speak, and people start seeing that like how ridiculous he really is. And he has this website called like the Time Cube, and like more and more people start to like believe it, and some people are skeptical of it. And it just like this guy chronicles pretty much like what was going on according to posts, you know, like, and crazy stuff starts happening. Like there's this kid that like really, really believes it and wants to win the approval of the guy who came up with the theory. And when the guy like says like, no, you're not like a real time cube theorist, he kills himself. Like all this stuff that like, all this stuff that like is never really talked about.
Excuse me.
Hey, time's a cube, man. He'll be back.
Dude, he's just on the other side.
Yeah, he's on the other end of the cube.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Which side? There's so many.
A lot of them are fostered by Reddit, but that's the stuff I really, really like. You know, Reddit.
Shocking, yeah.
Yeah, Reddit's like the chronicle of all those stories.
I stopped going on Reddit for a little bit.
I can't. I love Reddit.
I like Twitter, but then I'm like, because my reasoning was I'm gonna stop going Reddit because it's toxic. And I'm like, oh, let's look at Twitter.
I feel like if you are in your own little bubble of the subreddits that you like, you can make it non-toxic. You know, into the ones that like.
Thanks, Ben, for telling me I'm toxic.
You're a toxic person. No, I'm just kidding. But that's so big announcement.
Women.
I deleted my Facebook like 2 months ago, like a month ago. It's been kind of nice, like.
Yeah, I know.
Because I think that's like the real.
That's the one.
When you dig through all the shit, it's Facebook's.
I think Instagram too. Facebook
at the heart of it,
Instagram.
you know. And it was like.
I thought you couldn't delete your Facebook.
You can, but it's a 30-day window where it gets submitted to Facebook, then they delete it. If at any time you sign back in, then it's automatically you're back in. So I found myself like
so
one time.
So if you sign back in right now, it'll bring back your account.
No, it's already been deleted. But
it's been the past 30 days.
But there was one time where just like muscle memory, I just went to Facebook and I was signed out, obviously. And I was like, what am I doing? Like clicked out like real quick because I'm like, shit, it's like,
it's hard.
It's like hardwired in your head.
I think it's because of birthdays, man. Because I have a hard time remembering.
But like, I didn't really wish anyone happy birthdays on there, and no one really did to me either. So I'm like, it was more so I just saw when people had birthdays. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Then why?
No, but like, so like his is coming up soon, like he just said.
I know,
but I don't know that.
Why did you delete your Facebook? I'm curious.
You see my exact point. If I don't check Facebook for that, then I have no idea.
You're
I think
because like that's everybody.
I already wish you happy birthdays. So
no,
shut up.
Yeah.
Just like the amount of like arguments I saw on there, the amount of like misinformation that people would post and
fake
like
news, dude. I can't stand.
Yeah, memes. Like memes are just kind of.
You know what I realized
old
about
now.
it?
I don't
it's
know.
on both sides.
I still will like send you guys something. I don't know.
So basically, it was just like you felt it was too spammy. Like there was all this
just
stuff.
I mean, I feel like I almost like outgrew it. Yeah. Like it's just a constant stream. You can just keep scrolling and like like you see videos of people like just like crazy videos. You see people like punching an old woman in the head or something like you're like
it's very toxic.
I don't and then like you're saying like I need to know for birthdays, but at the same time I saw it would be someone's birthday, but I could just text you like but I guess not now.
My favorite are like the people we know that go on Facebook rants.
You just know the month. You just like I know it's in this month. I don't know what day.
You seen those like the Facebook rants where it's like I've been having a really rough week and it's like wow okay
or just even the shit where it's like had a great day with my boyfriend or my girl. It's like
cool.
People are putting things out just to get that confirmation back. You know.
Yeah.
When I took that vacation in Canada to the lake house and I didn't have internet or cell phone reception for a week unless I went to the town. There was a 3-day period. I don't know. It helped. So, like, when I came back, my urge or needness to, like, want to go on social media, like, reduced, like, significantly. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, Facebook. Yeah. Like, I'll go on Facebook, I think, now, maybe, like, once a month, whenever I get notifications, like, hey, it's this person's birthday. I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I didn't go on for a while, and then I found myself going on it a lot. And then you end up like on your phone and you just kind of like cycling through the apps and stuff, and it's like I don't know.
Do you do the same thing on Twitter, Instagram?
Twitter, not so much. Twitter, I just used to like stream stuff and kind of like look at funny tweets. I don't really tweet much. And Instagram, you can even check. I haven't posted anything in like a year or two.
I check every day.
Yeah, I know. I can actually see your activity on mine.
Yeah,
but
awkward.
Yeah, no, but so sometimes I feel like maybe I should be posting stuff. Like to be like a social person, people have to see what you're doing, and like I have friends who post like you two. You guys,
ours
have
are
like
stories.
Yeah, I'm saying, well, you guys have like a story every day or like a post sometimes.
No,
I don't know. Like I just
we're different, man. I mean, it's just like
I feel like when I was in California, I should have been showing people stuff, but
So that's how I use it with trips, right? So like whenever I go on a trip, be prepared for a super long Instagram story. And for me, that's not like, look what I'm doing. It's like, I want to remember this. Like I save those stories and I don't have time to sit on my computer and edit it all. So I should just string it together in an Instagram story. So that way everybody can see it. So all the relatives there are like, how was your trip to Italy? I'm like, just go on Instagram. You can watch the whole thing. So everybody can see it and then I can relive it. Like there have been times where I'm bummed and I literally go on my Instagram and watch some of the Italy story. And I'm like, this was a good time.
See, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
That's a great reason. And I've heard that reason. But like
I've gone back and watched our videos from Germany every now and then.
See, and I was thinking that too, like, but maybe I sound like the old guy, but like, can't you just be there and like,
no, you're
also experience it and kind of maybe something that's not on video, it just comes back to you one day and you're like, oh,
no,
yeah,
you're
like
100%. You're 100% right about that.
I was in this little town doing something. Like,
no, it's funny you say that because now I'm at a point where it's like, so let's say,
I mean, who am I trying to show? Like,
right.
Well, I mean,
so when I go to concerts and stuff like that, my phone doesn't come out at all.
Right.
And also because I also started going to concerts like pretty much sober, like now because I like I don't want.
Have you gone by yourself yet to a show?
Have I gone to a show by myself? No.
Maybe you like to.
To a concert? Mm-hmm. You've never been to a concert by yourself?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, you're really cool. I've been to a bunch of concerts.
Yeah, I have so many friends. They
dude,
they all want to come to the show.
Here's I would. I definitely would, but I just haven't. But like, you know, let's say there was a concert I was supposed to go to a couple months ago, and the people were like, "Oh, let's delude for it." And I'm like, "Why?" I was like, like why? Like why? Unless it's like a certain type of music where even the artist is saying, "Hey, I recommend you to experience this on a different plane." Like if they said, "Try shrooms or eat an edible" or something like that, understandable. But like getting super smashed, I've never understood that dynamic for seeing a show.
Maybe it's just as you get older, you want to start like your character or whatever you are, you want to kind of bring that back to like something that
the last
is
concert
yours,
I was at, man, I was 100% sober, and I was just like, dude, this is like it felt differently, man. I was like having a different experience.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it.
A lot of times when people are trying to do that before shows, they're thinking about a previous time that they did that and they had a really good time. But you just have to realize that it's not going to be exactly
show. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, no. But I don't know. I go on Instagram and I see people with like their stories like da 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 da, and I'm like, like has your phone been like this all day?
See, that's the thing. So when I do stuff like that, and again, like I'm not trying to act defensive, like this is about me, but like when it is about you.
Yeah, this is your intervention.
Yeah, like I'm subbing you.
We on your neck right now.
Yeah, subtweeting in real life.
I know, because I feel guilty now, but let me just say this. So
but yours, to preface that before you go in, what you're saying, yours are kind of different because you're going on trips that aren't necessarily a typical trip for like a lot of the people. Well, accessible, a typical trip. So a lot of people that we're friends with or we follow on social media who are in our own realm of people. Yeah. Tennessee, the shore, see Florida. A lot of different stuff. Whereas you went to Japan, that's a whole different culture. That's a whole different experience. So I know people who've seen yours and that will tell me about it and be like, yo, Andrew's like story in Japan, like, did you see it the other day? Like, that's what he's doing. I've never seen something like that before. So that's like kind of different.
And that's nice. But to get to your point real quick, I know we have a lot to say about this. My thing is, to answer your question, right? You're like, is that person just like taping all day? What I do and what I think people should do when they travel and they want to share with other people is you just tape a little bit throughout the day, and then at the end of the day before I'm about to go to sleep, that's when I put the story together. So I'm not doing it in real time. Like I'm not like, oh, tape this, then post it on my story.
So you're not recording through the app, you're recording like
on my
videos,
phone.
video,
and then I literally, when I'm laying down trying to go to sleep at the end of the day, I go through my phone. I'm like, all right, this part was cool, and I put on my Instagram story. Like that's how I do it. But yeah, if you're out there like, where's my signal? Like I'm not getting any signal out here in the Grand Canyon to post on my story. Like, dude, save it for when you get back to the hotel room.
It was like, I think after going to different places, it just grows on me a little bit. Like Japan, I was getting pushed out of the way for shots, like pictures of.
Oh, that stuff's obnoxious. Yeah.
And yeah, I know not every social media person's like that, but like I don't know. It's like the
self-awareness is gone. That's what you're talking about.
I guess, and I just like
living in.
I have hard copies of the pictures that I like, and those kind of bring back memories for me instead of like a video of it, like.
Yeah.
Like the catacomb picture, I always remember being down there and they turned the lights off. Like I didn't have a video of it, but when I see the picture of the skulls, I'm like, I remember running from the Eiffel Tower down into the catacombs, like that type of stuff,
That's dope.
But I didn't show anyone, so no one knew that I did it. So all I'm trying to say is like how you're saying, like people, would with Andrew not even there, they'd be like, yo, you see his story, like all that stuff. That's not like a thing for me. So I'm wondering, like, maybe I should start doing that. So, like,
see, I think
so.
I would like to.
So I'm not like some, like,
I think our
out
friend
there,
group,
like,
you, myself, Andrew, and there's not many of our other friends I would say that travel as much as we do, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, and that's not a knock at anyone. I'm just saying from what I see.
Yeah, like all our friends are pretty well off. They just spend money differently.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with spending money towards like a experience, I guess, or like a plane or wherever.
And
but
so it's like I think we could all say that we go on a type of trips, or we try to go on trips that not many will probably do the same thing. Besides the last Germany trip that we went on. Yeah. Like it's different. Like the amount each time I went to Canada was a different totally experience, and then going to Ottawa was a completely different experience. Like the next time I go to Canada again is going to be for Montreal. Like it's a different experience, or maybe one of the provinces close to Montreal to get the French, like the Frenchness of it. But yeah, like I said, I don't like going to the shore. I don't like doing things that are easily accessible.
I like those things. I
like some, but at the same time, and that's not saying like I'm above those type of things. I just don't like doing it because for me, I don't get excited unless I'm doing something I'm not comfortable in or like never experienced before.
Yeah, I got you.
I like those things. I mean? Culture shock.
Yeah. Well, that's what helps you grow as a person. But just to I guess put a cap on Instagram, if you want to do it, like if you think it's cool to have that California story, then do it. But don't do it like to try and be more social. Yeah. I would have loved to see it. What you just described, like meeting the Alchemist, like that would have been cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
but see, I'm not that kind of person to be like, hey, can you get a picture of
me? I'm not like that either. I met Long Beach Griffey at AnimeCon.
Sick.
Yeah, dude, he was hilarious, man. And
he's a great roller skater.
Yeah, you saw those videos. Yeah. I felt really. I didn't want to ask him for a picture at all because I just felt weird. Because he's just like a kid like me. So I was just like, dude, I love your videos. And he's like, thank you, man. Like,
but yeah, like dude, I'm standing next to Alchemist. I own like 2 of his records. Like, I base a lot of the stuff that I make. Like, not even trying to sound like him, but it's definitely influenced me. Like, that would have been huge to show people because I have friends who make music and stuff, and they would have loved to see that. Yeah, but like
that's nuts though. Huh? Bad Alchemist, that's nuts.
Yeah,
dude, I was digging.
Cry? Did you get emotional at all?
I did. In front of everyone.
Emotional or you cried?
No, I didn't cry.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you meet someone that you you look to you, that's like a unicorn.
It was like not culture shock, but it was
pretty big.
It's a shock to the system, but it was crazy. Like we were digging, and like I said, they had like 40s and stuff for everyone. They had the MPCs that DJ Muggs used for the first like 3 Cypress Hill albums.
That's cool.
Like all his equipment and stuff was there, and I'm just digging, and then I hear Mayhem Loren come in. You know Mayhem Loren, the rapper? He came in and he's just like, yo, what's up, everybody? Like, not even trying to be like loud. He's just like asking people like what records they got. Like,
what place was it?
Rap Cats.
Is that the place that Nardwuar did with Tyler just recently?
It might have been. Dude, Madlib holds events there. Like, there was talk that Madlib was gonna come through.
Does it have a basement?
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see a basement. But it's kind of crazy out there because like, you'll be standing next to someone and you don't even,
Mad Rats? It's called Mad Rats?
No, Rap Cats.
Rap Cats. I don't know where I got Mad Rats from.
But they've been around for a long time. They don't have like any social media or anything like that. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, but there was talk that Madlib was gonna come through.
Oh, sick. Do you have any vinyl places like that?
You know that?
No, there's like, I mean, I can't even speak about it because I don't really know. But I know like there's in Philly there's like Repo Records.
He was performing. That's why. Because Adult Swim was this weekend. Madlib Adult Swim Festival was this weekend.
But he went to Rap Cats?
No. He was performing in downtown LA for Adult Swim Fest. That's probably why.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was a great day. Like, it was one of those days. I like to soak in days. I like to just kind of...
Question for you guys.
Let it all happen and be like, this was a great day.
Present. Yeah.
That was a great day. Like, go buy a beer.
So for you, when you step foot... So for you and you, when you step foot in Italy and you step foot in Japan, did you guys have an emotional experience at all?
For sure. I mean, maybe I wouldn't describe it as emotional, but like definitely a change in like how I was feeling. Like we landed the plane. I think I've said this before, but literally the signs on the tarmac are in Japanese, and I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck,
you're pretty cool.
Here we go. Like,
you finally made it.
And then you walk into the airport and it's just like people just everywhere.
Yeah.
And like you're like, all right, here we go.
Step
like,
outside and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, but I like that kind of stuff.
Italy?
For Italy, I mean, I've been there 3 times before.
I thought this was the first.
No.
All right, so let's get to your first time.
It's only because my family lives there. But I mean, the first time I went, I was in 4th grade, so I didn't appreciate it at all. Like, it was just to meet my family. But like,
he's been traveling.
I guess
out here.
to just hop into Ben's lane, and talk about the first time I went to Japan. I still look back at my first trip to Japan when I was 18 years old as the best and most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Like, still to this day, and I've had a lot of good times.
How old were you?
I was 18.
That's it. Yeah,
so like
awesome.
how you said, like, your family in Italy and stuff. You still have family there, but like, so like my family was there and they left. So then I just heard just stories and stuff like that. So when I went there with Natalia the first time, it was almost like, I can't believe I'm actually here.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? And like, and just being told, oh, you got to go one day, to finally doing it and being there, and then seeing like
I think
that it's not that much different from here, but it's a different sense of like, well, like you said, inside.
I think Andrew and I are different because leading up to going, you were pretty into Japan, right? You were like,
I was inundated with the culture from a young age. So I mean, familiar.
People have asked me, like, why'd you go? I'm like,
no, because I wanted to.
I don't know. It was a completely different place that I'm used to. And, like, I've always kind of respected it. Like, they have their own, like, cultures and
customs.
Yeah, customs. So, I don't know. It was just, like, I didn't even have a frame of reference pretty much when I got there. Like, I knew all the basic, like, onsens and the gates and all that stuff and, like, that, but like I didn't know like a lot of the history. So it was kind of just like,
it was a culture shock.
It was a little overwhelming, but then you kind of get settled in and you're like, this is nice, like, way more relaxed. Like,
for me it was definitely a little deeper because like you said, I'd been inundated from a pretty young age. My dad
worked
he works for a car company, and that requires him to go there a lot. So when I was younger, like, he was always on these trips. So the stuff that I really remember him by in my early childhood were all these gifts from Japan. And then accompanied, of course, by, like, the stories of, like, Tokyo and stuff like that.
Right.
So I had grown up listening to that and, like, wearing kimonos and watching anime and, like, admiring that from afar as a kid. So then when I turned into an adult and I was 18 and I went with him for the first time and I saw that, like, all the stories were true and, like, I saw, like, where he would get me stuff, and it was very nostalgic for me. So like that was part of why it was so much fun for me, because I was like, wow, like this is such a big part of my life, and now I'm finally getting to see like where it all came from.
No, so you definitely have like a different connection with the place.
Yeah. To me, it really does feel like a second home, and that sounds weird because I don't understand Japanese or anything like that. But
yeah, you do.
It's just
you know some.
I know some, yeah, but you know I'm.
You know more than the average.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a little more savvy than the average bear when it comes to the Nippon. But yeah, man, it was such a big part of me being a kid that like now when I go there I feel at home, you know. So it's cool. But you know, Germany's like that for you. Everybody has something like that.
It's definitely like the first time. It didn't have so much on the second time, because the second time we were there to party and stuff like that. And like
that's what kids do, man.
I said to him when we got back, I said to him, I don't know if he remembers, but I was like, there were some things I wish that we could have done, because I know that he wanted to see a lot more, obviously for family roots and obviously what happened in Germany and stuff. Like when we went to
what happened in Germany.
It was all a lie. But when we went to like
never happened.
So for me, like
like
I don't have family members who obviously were affected by like the Holocaust, at least I'm aware of. So when I saw him when we went to the museum, and in Germany they're very blatant in the language that they use. Like it was called the Museum for the Murdered Jew. Like that's very in your face, like right there. And like seeing him and how quiet it was, not him being quiet, but just how quiet in the area was, and it's just like, holy fuck.
See, I didn't get that. Like I definitely was feeling like crazy when I was there, because you know the stones represent people and it's like families and stuff. But like we've talked about it before, but just the kids running through it, people standing on top of the stuff, smoking cigarettes on it, like just jump. Like I could see it's in public, you know, people are gonna fucking do that. So it's not like pissed off, but it's just odd, You know,
or
that's
even
some
that
people.
church we found, like that was crazy.
Well, that was crazy. Yeah, but people weren't doing anything like
No, because that's
disrespectful.
Yeah.
I found it disrespectful, but I'm not like offended by it.
Yeah.
I just I realized it's disrespectful, and it was just like that's that.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? But yeah, that church was insane.
Yeah.
Bullet holes against the wall where they fucking
Shot people.
executed people. Yeah,
Then
like
we
crazy
stumbled,
stuff.
and we just stumbled on it, like
Yeah,
trying to
literally
find
stumbled.
lunch, and
We
Yeah.
fell into
and
the
there was a
place.
picture. Remember, there was a thing that said, there was like a picture of Martin Luther King on the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
He gave sermon.
Mhm.
I think that's what it's called.
The sermon.
Or he gave service.
Yeah.
At this church.
I think it's one thing to be disrespectful. I feel like when you're at a location where people died, you should always walk around with a certain sort of reverence. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go through the 9/11 museum.
I was gonna
and be
say,
like,
hey. I was gonna
And
say,
that-
do
and
people
that's
like
a-
run
that's
across
a-
that?
And that's
like,
the crazy thing about it. I think it's because it's so big in such a big area that it's not treated as like
a monument.
a monument of people who
Yeah.
were killed and
It's almost
died.
asking for people to like jump across them and stuff. Like, it's, they're in different sizes. It's like steps. Like,
My point was, there's a lot of places that have sad historical significance that
Mhm.
have been like commandeered into places of commonality within the community,
Yeah.
and people now are happy. And a prime example of this, and I made a post about this on my Instagram when I went to Bomarzo in Italy. There's this place called Parco dei Monstri, which is the Park of the Monsters, and there was a prince in Bomarzo in the 1500s who returned from war, and he found out that his wife had been killed and his best friend had been murdered in a hostage negotiation, and he had a lot of money, but he lost the two most important people in his life. So what happened was he made this Parco dei Monstri. He hired a really good stonemason to make a park of monsters, like literally like a war elephant trampling somebody in the form of a statue, like a giant ripping the limbs off another giant.
oh wow,
So this circling park with kind of like these
this
monsters.
is all made in like stone.
Yeah,
That's pretty
and it's
cool.
out in the woods in Italy, and it's
Very
all
like detailed stones too.
they're old, so they're from the 1500s,
Wow.
but the details are still there. But it's just been worn
pretty
down by
crazy.
rain.
It's insane.
And so he would go into the park and just cry and be miserable. And like it was supposed to be like kind of like a hell, a poetic representation of the physical hell that he was in. And so he made it just to go and lament, and like nobody was allowed in there. Fast forward all these hundreds of years, now you pay 10 euros and like you can go walk around. Dude, there's kids playing on these statues, like people are having fun, like people are taking pictures.
no,
But to me, like I'm like, what a blessing that is, that like something that was made to be a representation of someone's pain. Now, hundreds of years later, like people are laughing, like there's so much life, there's so much love, like there's families that are coming and like they're holding hands.
That's
like
a positive.
right.
Oh,
So
that
I
was
feel like,
another thing when we were at the wall in
What
Germany, Berlin Wall.
but no thousands of people died. Like it's different. Your situation, like with the
Well,
stones, that's
but yeah.
crazy.
Well, no, but that's a positive I could take from it, and it's true. But yeah, it's a little different because it was only like in the 40s, and
Yeah.
that guy was in the 1500s. But
That's the
I see
distinction I
what-
was
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to make, though.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that, but that's like a
but
massive.
but that is a positive I probably should condition myself to think of instead of getting like.
No, I think
Disrespect.
you
have
are.
right to be
No,
offended,
you're
though.
justified.
I would have been offended too.
You're justified in your reaction.
No, I know I am, but it's more healthy to not get. I'm not mad at those people.
Yeah,
It just felt like,
It-
like
it's
what are you
ignorant.
doing? Like, yeah, like,
It is ignorant of them.
yeah.
And
But
then, like you
but I
said, that
understand why
goes
they were
into
doing it.
like the commandeer of like it's been so long since this happened, so people just naturally, like you said, like the further we get along from 9/11, the more people will forget, especially as people are born. Like
You're right.
No.
like my sister's age group, they don't have the same feeling of 9/11 as what we do.
Oh, no.
My sister was born 4 days before 9/11 happened.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's
Boy,
crazy.
that's wild.
She's 18.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
wild.
it's so weird.
So young.
So and
Early time.
it's weird, but like when we were at the Berlin Wall, like the Berlin Wall had significance where it kept east and west of Berlin, and like people were dying. And there was this part where the wall opens up because some of the wall's still up and it's used as like art, beautiful art on this wall too. But there's this one portion of the wall that's open up that kind of became like a little park, and it was the execution zone. And it's now a park where people are like
Playing
smoking
soccer.
kicking their feet in the water,
Yeah.
where kids were, after they were killed, they were tossed in the water. Kids,
Oh yeah, you guys passed out there. You guys all went to sleep for a little
not
bit.
that park. It was
the other baby killing area.
No, listen. Here's the thing. I needed a nap that day. I never take naps. I never take naps. Right? Ben and I both got a beer, and we're on these long chairs, and there's hundreds of people in this park all doing the same thing, like taking a nap, smoking. It's just quiet.
Yeah.
It's just nice. And I was like, dude, I just need like 10 minutes. Shane and Oz, I think they slept for. We were there for a bit.
All three of you guys slept. I was just chilling. I get jet lagged real easy.
Yeah.
But
Ben's the one that was up, man.
Yeah, I stayed up like the whole time.
Man.
Definitely
I was there with you.
Yeah, but no, I mean, those things are always kind of. That was a culture shock.
Yeah.
Being like, I didn't know people, like, maybe are it's like so far behind that people don't associate it with like bad stuff anymore.
Yeah.
They still do, but it's not as like.
Which is like kind of it's good in a good way. In some point of way, it's like good, but at the same time, it's like you need to remember.
Yeah.
What took place and how.
But I want to go back.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't go through a cemetery and like jump on top of tombstones. Like that's not something that's smiled upon, right?
And that is essentially what that monument park was. They're tombstones.
Right.
But
so
that's the crazy part.
That's why I think that situation is a little different,
tombstone.
right? But you could go to a cemetery and have like a picnic, like if you were respectful and like you weren't on someone's grave, like it was just like a setting, you know what I'm saying? Like so there's different ways to go about it, and it's all very contextual. But I'd say that it's different because, you know, with the Parco dei Monstri, like Italian people are very emotional, and that place was just supposed to be an artistic representation of sadness. Now it's our artistic representation of happiness. It's very different from a memorial. Like that should always be treated with respect.
I kind of I like how they
kids
are just climbing on the elephant or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's
poking the monster in the eye or something.
That's what made me so emotional because I was like, dude, like hundreds of years later, like did that guy think that this was going to bring so much happiness to people?
He probably thought it would have been like a depressing place probably for the test of time.
Well, it's funny because you look at the statues now and you're like, this isn't scary. But like back in the 1500s, like this crazy gargoyle looking beast, people are like, oh, egads, like what sort of demon is this? I'm like, this looks like the thing from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mamma mia!
Like I can only imagine people like in the woods back in the day, like, whoa, like, let's get out of here.
Like putting stone statues in the woods.
Yeah, this forest is enchanted. Let's leave. You know? But today it's just like people love it, man. So I don't know. That's
well,
the thing.
I want to go back and I want to see the village that my family's from and stuff.
Sweet.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I definitely want to go. I was saying I want to go back to Japan for sure.
Cool.
2021.
2021. I'll be in Japan sometime.
Not 2020, because it's gonna be packed.
Everyone, stay away.
Airbnbs are gonna be like $1,000.
They say it's gonna impact the economy forever. They say it's gonna be like that's how big, like, and people are gonna stay.
Isn't that how the economy works?
What's happening?
They think it's gonna be like a huge revitalization for Japan. They think that like foreigners are gonna come and stay. They have like all these big plans.
What's going on?
The Olympics.
Oh right, the Olympics are
2020.
Wow, dude, it seems so long ago when it was announced because Goku's the mascot, right?
Goku, Mario, Luffy, Naruto. There's like all the anime characters that are shown there.
Bro,
like
I thought that was the last Olympics. That's
Barney,
Power
Rangers,
Corey in the house.
Raven.
Corey's in the house.
That's my favorite anime.
Raven's in the background.
I read the manga of it.
I definitely prefer Corey in the house manga.
Could you imagine? What would Corey in the house anime opening be like?
I don't know, man. It would definitely be like some really bad Japanese rap, like just be something totally.
Start off with some dude like whining before, and like Corey's like, it's raining outside, and he's like looking at a picture.
I've never watched that show at all.
So you lied.
It's 7.
Who are you?
It's 7:10, guys. I don't know if you want to talk about anything else or wrap this up.
Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
You should go get it. Did you get it? Natalia got it, which means yes, I did get it.
Did you hear of Song of the South?
Yeah, Song of the South's not on there.
Song of the South. I'm unfamiliar.
Really?
It's the racist cartoon that they did in like the 30s. I don't even know when it was out.
That's the one with.
But it's like
when you go to Disney World, you remember Splash Mountain?
Never been.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's with the frog, right? The WB.
No.
That's Warner.
That's Warner Brothers.
Oh wait,
we're talking about the rabbit. Remember the rabbit and the bear from Splash Mountain? Well, if you've been on Splash Mountain, everybody who's been in Disney World, those two characters are the ones that are in Song of the South. I'm not making this up. But yeah, that film hasn't aged well.
No,
for obvious reasons, and it's not available on Disney Plus.
But I heard they have trigger warnings on some of their videos.
Oh yeah, some of their stuff they do have trigger warnings. They're like, hey, just let you know that this came out in a time period where it does not necessarily reflect our views at the moment.
Is Dumbo one of those movies with the crows at the end?
Why were the crows?
I haven't seen Dumbo in forever. Dude, I don't remember.
You guys live in the United States and you haven't seen like any Disney
I've seen
stuff.
them. It's just been like
I remember the crows where he's like I've seen just about everything, but I've never seen an elephant fly. And like they're all supposed to be like they're doing a Negro spiritual at the end.
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah, vaguely remember that.
Yeah, man. Like, those are
I love that
those
scene.
crows are supposed to be black people for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but I mean,
maybe because I just pressed it.
It'd be funny if there's like a trigger warning on something like Star Wars Episode 1. Like I would love to see like.
Natalia watched it back. She was like, "This character, Jar Jar Binks, you remember him?"
Yeah, of course,
dude. Go watch it again now. Like the CG is so bad in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And he honestly wasn't even that bad in the movie.
Nah, he was kind of annoying.
Star Wars fans can be brutal.
They can.
You know, the guy almost killed himself.
I believe it.
Swear to God.
What guy, Ben?
The guy who played Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what the hell is he from? He almost jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
The more you know. With Ben Blumenthal.
Yeah. Wait, because of the hate Jar Jar Binks got? No way.
I mean, people were telling him to kill himself. Like, that's how crazy fans are. Like,
nah, fans are wild.
Like, I get it. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Series.
It's cool.
It's fake.
You a fan?
It's not real.
You watch them or no?
Star Wars?
Yeah. You like Star Wars movies?
I
or
do
you not like Star Wars?
You gotta learn, dude. Ben does not like fiction, man.
No, I do. I like Star Wars, but I don't like
the fans.
I don't like the one of my couple best friends are fans, great fans of them, but I don't like when studios start to pump out the movies and just start creating new characters,
franchises. Yeah.
Like honestly, I always felt that there was enough material from the originals that you could build off of that.
Building off of that.
Yeah, like Wedge Antilles.
We have 9 films about the Skywalkers.
He did like 3 Death Star runs, never got killed. He would be a great person to do not a whole thing, but make him one like
that's what they're starting
Mace Windu. Samuel Jackson just goes out a window. You don't even know if he dies.
True.
Yeah. They could have brought him back.
That's actually really true.
Darth Maul was brought back.
True. Yeah. Like.
But the problem is, and I 100% agree with you.
Like
it's just the fact is
the
whole
the ball roll.
You know,
Ben's description of the new Star Wars movie.
Get the ball roll.
Get the ball roll. I forget his name. He's like RJ0.
Like
Ben's like
B225 or some shit.
BB something. Yeah.
BB-8 something like that.
Yeah, it's like a
BB-8.
No, you're 100% right but the problem is with Star Wars is that it's solely been about one family, the Skywalker family. Mm-hmm. So. Would it resonate?
And the
Solos. So I feel like there is such a massive universe with the books, with the cartoons that they could do. But when it comes to film, it's like, is this going to resonate? Can we try something new? But
even then, like how I'm like talking about Mace Windu and all these people, like I realize these are characters. Don't tell them to go kill themselves because you didn't like their character. You're crazy. Like,
well, yeah, that's again.
Samuel Jackson would just tell you to go kill yourself, probably.
He's like, what'd you say, motherfucker?
No, but Disney Plus is cool. I've been watching Even Stevens.
That's pretty good.
Oh, they have all the Disney Channel movies
Bro,
on there?
They got all.
Wait, do they have Smart House?
Smart House is on there.
Ooh, I like
Do they have Kim Possible?
Kim Possible's on there.
Luck of the Irish?
Luck of the Irish is on there. They got Brink. You remember Brink?
Of course.
I watched it the other day.
Wait, what's the Bake Off one?
$1 Million Cook-Off.
Yeah, I like that one.
Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
He knows all this.
I love Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish, that's a good one.
What about Johnny Tsunami?
Both of them were on there.
Wow, dude.
Rocket Power? Or that's Nickelodeon.
They're doing their own
Nickelodeon's going to Netflix, right?
Yeah.
But from what the deal looked like,
sick.
the lingo of the wording was that it says existing characters for new ideas.
Like ones that are still being made.
So no, it sounds like we're gonna have.
Yeah, my dad sneezed. How crazy is that?
I was like,
there's a lot going on.
It's funny because he's yelling. My dad sneezed. He's yelling for like 1 full second, like ah! If you just isolated that, it sounded like he's in danger.
No, he just didn't like that Nickelodeon's on Netflix.
Your mom's like, whoa!
He didn't like that Nickelodeon's with Netflix. No, but so like, all I want if Nickelodeon does bring back all their old content with Netflix, just give me Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh man,
just give me that. I will be so happy.
Course,
well, you know me.
Oh, I'm too cool for anime.
I don't like fiction.
I don't like fiction.
No, I do like fiction.
I got to rag on Ben. No, he likes Star Wars. I actually didn't see that coming.
But don't like test me on them. Like I'm not like one of these diehard like.
You get it, Ben.
I just
not
enjoy the movie.
Cool. You're cool, Ben.
I just like the movies.
Let's go see the cinema.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the new SpongeBob movie? And there's a Scooby-Doo movie. Did you see that?
Scooby-Doo one looked cool. Didn't see the SpongeBob one.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
saw SpongeBob came out. Didn't watch.
Did I tell you that? I saw Joker. Did we talk about that?
We did talk about it. We talked about it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know.
You saw Ad Astra, right?
What? What is
The
that?
Brad Pitt film?
And Jamie Kennedy.
You guys know something I don't. I'm not.
What's
something.
that big? There's a big movie coming out or out right now, and I can't remember what it is.
The Lighthouse?
No.
I heard that was really good.
Oh.
I remember because I saw you that night, and I was like, I heard it was really bad.
Oh,
remember my friend gave me the rundown of it, and it was like just the bear, like.
It's that war movie.
One of those films.
It comes out in December. It's called like 1940 something. The whole movie's one continuous shot.
It's about the war.
It's in one continuous take.
The War of 1940.
It's in one continuous take.
What does that even mean? No, that's cool.
That's insane. Could you imagine an hour-and-a-half film in one shot?
Mm-hmm. I can.
You know how much everything has to go right?
I can imagine that.
Everything has to go right.
Remember Scarface? I think Scarface had the really good one shot.
Are you talking?
Remember talking about Goodfellas, where they go to the Copacabana,
where they go down the kitchen and stuff.
Well, they go to the Copacabana Club or whatever it is, and he's
holding up the coats, like the fur coats.
Yeah.
And all.
That's
They're moving all
in
this
Goodfellas,
stuff.
and they had to do it like I think 8 times.
Yeah, and then he kissed me.
Yeah. That movie's awesome.
What might be the best one-take shot in the movie?
Midsummer
had a really good one.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see that.
Every time we are on a podcast, we talk about Midsummer. One person hasn't seen it.
Who was the last person last time? Was
Remember,
it me?
Oz was like, I haven't seen it yet.
I was like, yo, I didn't see it.
I wonder if he's seen it.
No, he's probably seen it, yeah. But no, you're actually going to like that movie.
I know. I heard it's really freaky.
Because of the music, too. You're going to like the music, yeah.
Music's really good in the movie.
Like, is it music that people know? Or it's like
trippy shit.
It's very like, because the whole movie's about trippy
Dude, that
stuff.
reminds me. Listening to that trippy, offbeat, lo-fi trap stuff, Toro y Moi. Do you know Toro y Moi?
What's it? Trash something?
Crazy.
Soul Trash?
Soul Trash? Did you listen to it?
You told me to, and I have it on my phone. Would you like to see
Ben,
it?
you told me about this at the
See, Ben, here's the thing between you and me. When you give me a music recommendation, guess who listens to it at that moment?
Who?
Yeah.
Me.
No way.
Ben, we're not going to do this today. Where's T?
Oh, wow. He's telling the truth, guys.
How do I spell it?
Toro y Moi.
Like Toroymoi.
Oh, okay,
To be
cool,
fair,
cool.
you do listen to a lot of the grime that I send you, though. So
I do. I love grime. I've been listening to a bunch of grime music.
Sheldon, I listened to your recommendations. I listened to Sex After Cigarettes recently. And I
Great
loved that.
band.
What'd you think?
Dude, I can't stop listening to them.
That album Cry is really good.
Doesn't with the person like that, like
And they're crying.
Hmm?
like it's the cover of the woman, her head's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
all the way back.
Really.
I love the one
sadistic
like
album
Nothing's
cover.
Gonna Hurt You. I love
Have
that
you guys
song.
listened to Emotional Oranges yet?
No.
What about Chicks Tape? Tory Lanez?
No.
Chicks Tape?
All right. so
I had
Tory
to
Lanez
give The
was-
Midnight a re-listen.
Dude, The Midnight's great, man.
I've been making my own music.
I've been super into Blank Mass.
Teach me.
Really?
What's
Ben,
up?
have you listened to Blank Mass?
Blank Mask. Who's that?
They're like it's a one person
It's Emotional Oranges.
and it's
Oh, it's one person.
it's a one man band and he does like really I would describe it as aggressive ambient electronic music.
Send me it right now.
Nuts. Blank
Aggressive
Mass.
ambient electronic. That sounds cool.
Dude,
Sounds like
it's
Saruda.
nuts.
If we're talking about ambience music, we were talking about that last week. I have more to send you.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about last week. Or was that 2 weeks ago? When was the last podcast? Last week.
Sean, I feel like you could make some cool shit.
That's what I think.
I have ideas, but the thing is, so I have what's that big program on my
FL
laptop?
Studio?
No.
I was gonna say.
Ableton.
I have that.
You have Ableton? That's
I
like a
have
$200
Ableton.
software.
Yeah, I got it for free
Are you a pirate?
from
The high
a mutual
seas.
friend of ours.
Oh,
Gave
cool.
me Ableton
Name them.
11 Live.
Mm.
2 of them
Oh,
actually, and they're pretty big in the music scene.
cool.
If you know who I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I know.
You
I
might
know who
I'm
you're talking about.
I know who.
Oh,
So
I
know who it is.
So
Oh,
he
he's
gave me.
watching.
So he gave me all these plugins and all this like programs, and I was like, "There's a lot going on in Ableton, and I kind of want someone to give me like the breakdown of how to start out.
See, so
If not, I'm just gonna go on
I've been
GarageBand on my
using
phone.
FL Studio since Aunt and I were just messing around like
Mhm.
in middle school. So I never switched to another platform or a DAW. And
Steve and I made a
I
song.
got too used to it. Yeah, no, me and Steve used to make stuff too.
We made one last year.
Yeah, like
I
it's
don't
just
have it anymore though.
Yeah, I mean it's just, and that's the thing too about going back to social media. I don't post any of my stuff because I don't know. I just
you should do.
Have told
you
me,
should
like,
post it
yo,
on
You
YouTube.
should show people. Or
Do you not
something.
think it's good enough, Ben?
I do. I just
Ben, you'd be surprised
people
with how
would,
the
like, not
internet
like
works.
it. I don't
But
know.
here's the thing.
I
all
just
you
don't
need,
even really.
All you need is that one person just to play it in the right setting to like, and around the right people, and they'll be like, "Yo, who's that? Let me see if I can rap on that."
I'm a little self-conscious, I guess, but I don't know how you could understand. You put out your stuff.
Yeah, but
and
I'm not,
puts out the stuff.
I'm not
like-
happy with all of it.
Yeah.
Like, I look at some of it and I'm like, it could have been better. I just put
Right.
it out because I know, like, if I don't, then what am I doing this for? Like, for myself?
I have ideas.
I feel like that's sort of why I do it.
Yeah, just for yourself.
Just for myself. I still collaborate with people.
I
Like
have
I'll still
sounds
make
in my
music.
head.
I'll make projects with people.
That's not bad.
Teach me how to release the sounds I have in my head.
I'll try. Nah, I just use samples, man. I chop, go crazy.
Dude, you're like a chef, but
I
with
wonder if
music.
I can find it. The song
I chef.
I made.
I cook. I chef.
Oh,
Knife.
snap.
Yeah. Pot. Knife. Classic Lil B.
I love that dance.
I knife.
Yo, something's up with Lil B on Twitter though.
He's just really into feet, dude. Just leave him alone.
Nah, it's getting a little bit beyond feet.
That's Lil B. Like that's what he does.
I haven't heard him make any music or anything like
He
that.
just released a new tape.
Sheldon, I was telling Ben, I saw the Lil Peep documentary. It was awesome.
He just dropped a new album. I think it goes
Yeah.
with the documentary. I haven't listened to it yet. I have it on my phone though.
It's so weird. It sounds
good
weird.
album?
You
That's
know?
what Guru did. He dropped the album.
Guru.
Is the album
I
good?
like Guru.
The Lil Peep album, have not listened to it. The Gangster album, it's just okay.
Little Peepee.
I was talking about it last podcast. The new Gangster
Pepe?
album is just like the whole theme is like, we still here, man.
Yeah.
Yo, we still doing it, man. Hey, yo.
Like, we're never gonna die.
Yo, Gangstar forever, man. We didn't go nowhere. And then Guru's son comes always like, hey, yo, man. Yo, we still doing it, man.
Yeah, like 93 forever. Like that type of shit.
Bro, it was cool, though, man. It's definitely not an album I'm going to listen to twice, but it was good.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta know when to fold them.
Gotta
Gotta
know
know
when
when
to
to
hold
hold
Know
'em.
when to fold. Know
Like
when
this-
to
like this-
walk
like
away.
This podcast right
Put
now.
your cards on the table.
I was watching
See what you
Treasure
got.
Planet earlier today.
Hidden gem.
What was it?
Treasure Planet. You know that's Disney's one of their biggest flops
It's one of the-
financially.
I love that movie.
They lost
man.
Is that with Captain
45
Hook?
No. They lost 45 million.
You're
Treasure
actually
Island.
not far off. I'm sorry, Sheldon.
45 million.
Yeah.
They lost
How much?
45 million.
Wasn't a worse flop than John Carter. Let me look up actually how bad John Carter
John
was.
That's I wonder if it's on Disney Plus. It is a Disney movie.
Didn't some movie just came out recently that became the biggest flop?
It
was
was
like
the
a
new
Ice
Terminator.
Dogs?
It was new
No, no, no.
Terminator.
Yes, it was.
New Terminator
Terminator?
sucked. Oh my
Did you
god,
see it?
bro. No, I didn't watch it, but I watched so many reviews on it. I was like, this is
Kinda bad. I had
hilarious.
no-
Remember, in the trailer,
I had
she's
no
like,
desire to see that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
of
in
course.
the trailer,
But I
in
should.
the
I
trailer,
love
she's like this.
Terminator.
When this is all said and done, I'm gonna kill you. You know, he's like, okay.
So John Carter movie lost. It was a $200 million loss from the production budget.
Wow.
Which is one of the biggest flops of all time. Yeah, it's pretty
Damn,
intense.
dude.
Let me look
Imagine
up.
losing $200 million. Like,
And then Disney just makes it right back once they got the Marvel bag.
it's true.
The thing is,
Isn't that
you know,
crazy? All the movies, like all the ones after under the Disney name, hit like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Insane.
So
That's
Terminator.
27 million. That's 27 billion.
This
dollars.
Terminator Dark Fate cost the studio $100 million. It lost $100 million.
These numbers
Wow.
are like almost too hard to like fathom. It's
Yeah.
just like
know what's funny about
it's
it?
like the same thing
They're not,
as like
know what's funny about it
get a
though?
gajillion dollars.
They're not real numbers. They're not. It's not an actual physical 100 million. Like if you kind of think about it, like I don't have any merit on that, but like it's not like the studio. So what I think when they say they lost like that much money, I'm
Mhm.
thinking time. I'm thinking more so time, and like
You
because
could be right, yeah, that they convert into like
how do
man-hours
you
or
you quantify a movie costs 200 million to make?
yeah.
Like you have the studio, you have the actors.
people,
You got to
yeah.
pay the actors, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you have the
They
filming
factor in-
equipment
they factor
already.
in, like, the
so I
overhead,
don't. That's where I'm
all that
like, I
shit.
don't understand sometimes how I feel like it's not an actual monetary 200 million. Because if a company lost 200 million, I don't understand how they put out like. I mean, obviously these are major companies that are putting out 40 films out a year.
It's over time.
You know, A24.
Yes, they're
I-
awesome.
I think they're awesome. I think they're honestly the best
Yeah.
film distributor
They
out
made
right now.
Midsommar, yeah. They made
Yeah, they made Midsommar and Hereditary. Dude, so me personally, I was like, I think they only make like maybe 2 or 3 films a year. Dude, I went on their wiki page. In 2019, they produced 37 movies. And I'm like,
wow.
Yo, what are these movies? I haven't heard some of these movies.
I don't know, man.
They look pretty good, though? Any of them look good?
Yeah. A lot of them looked pretty good. I gotta
check that out. Yeah, I know. All I know is Lighthouse.
Just let you know, Midsommar is it's a long one.
Oh, I'm fine with
3 hours.
Yeah. I sat through Hateful Eight. That show was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, they have the whole like uncut
on Netflix.
Yeah, on
it's
Netflix
broken up
now.
in 2 parts.
I did the one in the theaters with the intermission.
Oh, you did with the intermission
me
on
too.
On the 17 millimeter screen.
Actually.
Oh yeah, I remember that was like the big deal.
Yeah, it was
and
on
guess
film.
who paid for
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Me.
Me and so Ann and I went to go see Princess Mononoke today, and we were just reminiscing. One time we went to go see a Dragon Ball movie in theaters, an old one from like the 90s. And when we got into the theater, we saw there was like a pause menu like on the screen, like somebody was playing off a DVD player. And bro, some guy in the back goes, "Hey yo, man!" He's like, "I could have watched this at home." It was so funny, bro. Like he put 2 and 2 together because everyone in the theater was collectively like, "Ah." The guy was like, "Yo, I could have watched this at home." He was so mad.
God. That's funny though on the
It's
spot.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
That person's probably really funny. Whoever said that.
he said it right before the movie started too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
It was Long Griffith.
It's like those when you do something that gets like a laugh of like people you don't know, it's like makes you feel good.
It's risky, man. Shouldn't try it in the theaters.
It's true.
Because
Yeah.
It's almost
Theaters.
destined to fail.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Did I tell you what happened at It
Comedy
Chapter
shows.
2? When Natalia and I
No.
saw
Never done.
It Chapter 2.
What happened?
Towards the end of the movie, some dude comes into the theater, random, stands like towards the exit, starts yelling, just random obscene shit.
What?
So, and it's
Hold
always
on.
like,
Really?
I never told you this.
I'd be
No,
like
no.
ducking under the seat.
Dude, yeah, I'm like squeezing out at this point.
So-
What was he saying?
Yo, okay, so I could hear him. Natalia couldn't hear him, so she was freaking out. He was yelling the ending of the film, which is a super dickhead thing. But here's the thing. So he walks in.
Clown dies.
Yeah.
No.
There's a clown.
He was going a little more in depth because there was like
He's yelling details.
Yeah, very eloquent.
he was-
but yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing. So
At about the 30-minute mark. My bad,
So
Sheldon.
you'll notice.
so Natalia, this is when she got her foot surgery. So she was on crutches, right? So I got us on the left side of the theater, the big theater at Neshaminy.
Nice.
So we're on the left side toward the top where the exit's in back, just in case if she had to like leave, it's right there instead of walking down the stairs. So she's sitting on the end so she can like have her leg rested, and I'm sitting next to her. And I look down the corner, and like I said, this is the bigger one. And the dude walks in, and he's just standing there, hands in pocket for a little bit.
What does
And
this
I'm
guy look like?
And now, it was a white guy, but
That's creepy at a movie theater.
Yeah, dude.
no, he's standing there and just looking at. He's just looking at everyone, and I knew he wasn't one of the ushers, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm at this point where I'm looking at him, not watching the movie.
Like me.
So I'm looking at him, and Natalia's like, "What is he doing?" And I'm looking at her. I'm like, she's on crutches. Like, if something breaks, if something goes down right
You got
now,
the carrier, dude.
bro, not even that. It's gonna be pandemonium. Like people are
She'll
gonna be.
get toppled.
Yeah, I'm thinking like all these scenarios in my head. Like I'm just like going in my head, and the dude just starts standing there, hands pocket, starts blah 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 blah, like just starts yelling all this shit, and I'm like, I was like, okay, he's spoiling the movie. Like I've read the book, I've seen, I know what happens.
Do people do that a lot?
This is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
And then some dude, couple rows in front of me, he's like, obviously this always happens. So antagonize it. The dude's yelling about the movie, blah blah blah. And he's like, hey man, shut the fuck up before I knock you the fuck out.
Oh snap, dude.
And I'm
That's
like,
when someone
and
should
so,
go, world
so I'm like this. I'm like this. So it's happened a couple of rows in front of me. I'm like this. The exit's like really close.
Yeah,
I'm like,
getting the stretches.
I was like, the exit's really close. I'm looking at her, and then like we're in the recline seat. So I'm just like,
Yeah, it makes a noise too.
nah. And then the dude stands up, and I'm like, oh my god, the movie's about to end. You fucking savages, just take this elsewhere. So then the dude, like, and it was a kid. It was a kid, man.
That was
It was a
yelling.
That
kid
was yelling.
Oh, of
It was like a
course.
high schooler.
That's a kid move.
And here's the thing: once
Middle-aged man's
once
going and do
he
that.
runs out, and all his friends were in the theater, and they run out too. They just chase him out,
They're probably like filming
and
it.
like
Young
they
love,
were
dude.
filming it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's gonna get a lot of views, man.
Yeah, you got someone to yell back.
Got someone to yell back.
Yeah. You should have knocked him out.
We were watching the Lil Peep documentary. Obviously it was full of like fans, right? It was full of
Little
fans
Pepe?
of the young Pepe.
Young Pepe Sylvia.
We were watching it.
Hey,
It was,
Lil Pepe.
it was full
Pepino.
of fans, people who like were really familiar with the music, and
People crying.
yeah, there's people crying because obviously that doesn't really have a happy ending. But
What happens?
there's a lot of
I'm just kidding.
there's a lot of music, and people were like singing along. Well, my brother was really into it, right? So there's this guy next to us that was singing the song.
Wait, this is in theaters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was this in the Chamonix?
Yeah. So this is the Chamonix. So
Okay.
So my brother just invited me to like go see it, right? I'm not really too familiar with Lil Peep, but my brother knows all the stuff, right? So this guy's next to us is singing, and I just see my brother look over to him like 3 times. I'm like, oh, it's only a matter of time. Alex taps me. He goes, "This is one of the best things I've ever seen." This guy's singing the songs that are in the documentary.
Is
like,
that loud? Is he singing them loud?
No, he's just like da 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 da. Like he's just doing like all the lyrics and stuff. Yeah.
Kill myself.
My mom sucks.
My
Parents don't understand me.
Okay.
Hate them.
This is the
Will
classics,
Smith was right.
Yeah. Always singing, right? And so my brother just looks at me, taps on his shoulder, and the guy turns and he's like all excited, right? He doesn't even know he's doing anything wrong. He just turns like this. And Alex goes, he just shakes his head. He goes, no. The guy stopped completely.
Oh,
he didn't sing
man.
another song. He just goes, no. It's so great, dude. I wish he was here.
He's like, people wouldn't want this.
What if someone just walked in theater, starts blowing, it's like, Lil Peep dies!
Dude. Yeah, it spoils the ending.
Such an easy spoiler.
You can see it coming a mile away.
Man, it's like...
People want to... Because it's so quiet in movie theaters, man. I feel like people that mom and dad didn't give them enough attention, they just want to yell something out. And in comedy clubs, you were just saying, it's the
Hecklers.
worst.
Yeah, I would never... I can't imagine myself yelling something out at a comedy show. I don't want to get
no.
roasted by a
God, no.
professional.
Bro,
Fuck that.
Andrew Schultz, man.
Yeah, he'll roast you.
I went to two
I
of
saw-
his shows, and he started grilling the audience.
I saw David Tell. He's like the
Hmm.
king of crowd work.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want him to get on you because...
Yeah.
Well, you do because he's kind of playful with it, but there's other comedians that are just like... Well, just don't yell shit out at a show. It's
Yeah,
just don't
obviously.
do that.
It's disruptive, but also it's just like, oh, like, are you funnier than the comedian?
Especially
like,
in his
is
shows
that the route that
because-
you really want to go?
Yeah.
And especially at those type of shows, because you can hear everything in that little room.
Yeah.
You can hear
Yeah.
every single word being said, even if you're whispering to someone
It's like a bar.
10 seats.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people at bars, they
Yeah.
think that the bartenders can't hear them
Right.
because it's so loud behind you, but actually, behind there, they can actually hear like everything.
Oh, exactly.
It's like you think you're in the back of the
Yeah.
comedy club, and you're just like
Having a little
this chatting it up.
conversation, but it's like everyone
Then they'll
can
just
hear
be
you.
like, what was that up there? The person? And you're like, fuck, how they see
Hey,
me?
you fucking schmuck in
Yeah.
a blue shirt. What'd you say?
Carries, dude.
Yeah, I would. I mean, to have like David Tell just roasting me or something.
Damn, bro.
I know I went through Mad Candy.
You did eat a lot.
It was
of
my
candy.
personal Halloween today.
You better
But
brush your teeth.
are these all pink Starbursts in there? Because every single one I opened was pink Starbursts, and I just thought I had really good luck.
Oh, those are your favorite?
Well, of course,
Well, I mean, if you get 2 pinks in a row,
Yeah.
you know,
they don't gotta be your favorite. That's just good luck.
2 in a pink.
Oh, is this common knowledge?
No, they
I
usually
think
like
it's just
1 and
accepted.
1.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
Whatever, dude.
listen.
I don't even eat Starburst like that.
Wow.
Oh,
I
we
usually
got-
don't eat candy.
He must be from Fishtown because we got a hipster.
I used to eat a Kit Kat and a bag of Doritos every day.
It shows.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wait, are you kidding or not?
No, for real. At my last job, pretty much every day I would buy a bag of Doritos, like a lunch-sized bag of Doritos, and a Big Cat they call them, where it's
Whoa.
one solid bar of Kit Kat
It's a hell of a diet.
You should treat yourself.
every
dude.
day.
Every day.
Not
Do you-
every
do
day,
you
but
not-
pretty much every
Do
day.
you not love yourself?
I love myself. That's why I eat the things I like.
Yeah, I'm glad you're in good health, man.
I'm not, but like I had a bunch of fried chicken today before I came here. I can't give up Foghorn, dude. It's too good. It's way too good.
Foghorn, you said?
Yeah, it's this place in East Falls. I'm plugging them right now, but
Banchan, shout out.
Banchan?
Banchan in Chinatown is the best chicken
Mm.
wings.
I might have to try that. Actually, best
Cafe
chicken wings.
Soho.
No, best chicken wings is Burns Tavern in Port Richmond.
Okay.
They pressure cook them, so they're
I'm
like they're
listening.
little mini ones, right?
I'm listening.
Not mini, they're like this, you can get them plain or their house-made buffalo, which is pretty good. And they're like lollipops. Like you can, I think it's like an order of like 30 or 40, which sounds kind of crazy for one person, but they're like, like that, and you just go like, meat comes right off. Like it's insane.
You see this video on
Port
Twitter?
Richmond, dude. Check it out.
There's awesome. This dude in the South. He was saying, he was like, I got the best barbecue in the South. He said, if the meat don't fall off the bone, it's for free. And then you see him get this whole rack of ribs, and he says, he's like, watch this. Ain't nobody getting a free meal. Holds it up, and the meat just goes like on like a 16 rack. The meat just peels off like that. Man. He said, pay up. Dude, I was like, that's amazing.
People didn't even want food. They're like,
it almost had, please. It almost had like 1 million views. I was like, this is amazing. He said, the meat don't slide off the bone is free.
I'm salivating.
That sounds awesome.
I gotta find it. I saw it a couple months ago. That made my day.
Yeah, Burns Tavern, dude. Check out that place because the meat falls off the bone too.
But it's not Burns Taverns. We got the meats.
Yeah. It's a real smart bar.
Yeah. Such a gross catchphrase.
Never been there. Never had Arby's.
Never had Arby's?
Neither have I.
Just doesn't seem appetizing.
I mean, I kind of do not want to have fast food roast pork.
I just heard it's kind of like
that's
like,
just kind of
nasty. It's like pre-diarrhea. Like you're just gonna get diarrhea from it. Well, you're just eating the step before.
Well, then maybe if you're having stomach troubles,
right?
Go eat at Arby's. We got the meats.
That's hilarious.
Sometimes I'll eat like a hot pepper if I need to like clear my sinuses and stuff.
Oh, I'm the same way, man. It's a palate cleanser, as they say.
A little pepper.
Little pepper never hurt nobody.
That's the movie you went and saw, Little Pepper.
Yeah, Little Pepper, man.
Rest in peace.
But hey, pass that cayenne.
Dude, he's all about different spices and peppers.
Was that Ghost? Let me get that.
Yeah, man. All right, well, it's 7:30. We've been talking close to 3 hours.
You never introduced the podcast either.
I don't do that anymore. I feel like it's just not authentic. Yeah. And if
I was lying this whole time about everything, so
that whole story about you like saying that you're gonna leave your job was pretty suspicious.
It's pretty dumb, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty dumb. Like, because crying is I don't you wouldn't cry, dude.
I'll probably do it tonight.
You're a guy, yeah. I know you wouldn't cry, so I believe that.
Mental health is important in men, too.
Nice. Are you still joking, Ben? Or?
No, that's real.
Oh, okay,
that part was real.
No, definitely. I
can't tell anymore.
Long Beach Griffey always talks about that.
Oh yeah, what's up, men?
Yeah, what's up, men specifically?
He's like short men, middle men, wing men, all the men. My favorite one, this last video, he goes, "If you're going through something this year, this week, this month," he's like, "I just want to let you know it will pass, and you're gonna be way up."
I always love the comment that people put it on his Instagram. It's like, man, I wish I was walking down the street and saw him making this video, like the ones where he's in his car arguing with himself, like just see him like yelling and then like him getting the backseat.
Oh, the Uber driver's the best one. The Uber driver video is
just like, walk by him, he's screaming. I mean,
that's what they all do.
He has a very specific scream, like the way he yells about shit, like
him and the other dude. I can't remember his name.
What other guy?
Black guy.
Is he the guy?
We always share his videos.
That loves Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Take my V card.
Yes, take my V
card. Yeah, dude. He's so funny, man.
I gotta look at this.
He has a very distinctive yelling voice.
Yeah. Yo! He always does that.
And he talks very fast.
Yeah, he does, man. I forget what his. I actually met him too. I met him at Kamehacon. He's hilarious.
Kamehacon. I want to go to a Comic-Con.
Let's go. Seriously, we'll go.
You don't have to dress up as anything.
No, I don't dress up at all.
But if you did,
Andrew invited me to the last one
under my clothes.
So. Kimono.
He invited me to the last one, and I just didn't go.
Oh, did he actually invite you, or
you don't?
I can pull up the text.
Dude, that was pretty good. Nah, they're very cumbersome to go to when they're in New York City.
Cucumbersome?
Yeah, cucumbers. That's exactly what I was about to say, man.
He was like, he was like, yeah, it's in New York, and I was like,
yeah.
No, but I think I actually had something to do that weekend.
You can go to Wizard Comic-Con with me.
That's
What's
in Philly.
Yeah,
is that all Harry Potter?
The Philadelphia one.
No, it's the same thing. It's just called WizardCon.
Why? Did it start as Harry Potter or something?
I don't know, man.
It was probably Magic.
Maybe I'll dress up as like a famous wizard, but not.
Sure, yeah, there are many famous wizards.
You're like, oh wow, glasses and a lightning on your head. Original Harry.
Yeah.
I thought your real name's Ben.
It before. Yeah.
They're fun.
You look like a
I'm
Benjamin.
Harry Potter.
There's a little something for everybody, you know.
I'll go as Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Dude.
Mario.
Whoa.
More macaroni. That's cheese.
Oh, dude, am I
Oh,
talking
macaroni.
to the two voice actors right now, dude?
Reggie?
That wasn't bad, dude.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Like he likes spoon.
Like Zoinks, man.
Whoa, man. You guys are pretty good. I didn't expect that.
What do you got?
Now I feel like
we're bringing a lot to the show right now.
I feel like, yeah, dude. You guys are carrying me right now. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Goofy.
Yeah, that's.
Or Mickey Mouse.
Wait, do they have what's the Goofy goes to college or whatever?
Yeah, that's on there.
Goofy goes to college. You talking about the Goofy movie?
Goofy movie.
Yeah. yeah.
Goofy goes to college.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Goofy, you in college?
Oh, I didn't know you were here.
Hey, I know you were here. What you doing here, Goofy?
I've been watching your car.
I'm just trying to think of the circumstance where, like, he has to go to school. Like, well, gosh, Max, it's back to school with me. Like, how does he have to go back to college? For what?
With his kid. Yeah, they're together.
Wait, isn't that what happens in the movie? Like, he's in class with Max or something like that, and he's, like, embarrassing him or
I
something?
kind of forget.
Dude, that definitely happens.
Why do you hate me, Max?
Dude, that's the whole movie.
Oh, my.
My son's growing up. He
He's like a
hates me.
skateboarder.
Yeah.
Was that the hair flick?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Max.
Oh my.
Man.
Gosh.
My Goofy's rusty, man. All right,
You got
guys.
a Donald in there?
That's the hardest one to do.
What was that?
I think we're getting too silly on
Is
this
that Kung
podcast. We might have to end it, man.
Oh, Kung Fu Hustle. That's a good movie.
Phenomenal movie. It's on Netflix.
Man,
I watched that recently.
Awesome.
Amazing movie.
Yeah. It's so cool.
I love how
I love to do with the rings.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's
Or
just
when
creative.
When he's fighting the shing, that guy
Oh.
with the instrument.
Yeah, I
and then
remember the first time you
holds-
see
and he's-
that.
He's using their
Yeah.
motions to like have
Oh,
them
and he's
beat
like,
each other. Yeah, he's just kind of ducking each one.
It was
Yeah, such a great
Drunken
movie.
Fist. Like, that's the fighting style. I think he was like a Drunken Fist fighting style.
Drunken
Or he was
Master,
just kind of
yeah.
like he just had like a bob to him. He was like kind of smooth.
And his
Was
wife.
he drunk? I don't remember him drinking though. His wife was
His
the
wife-
lion. Yeah. They kept calling her fat. She wasn't really that fat, but great movie.
They kept calling her Fatso.
Yeah. They're like
That's a
lard.
really
They called
good
her like
movie.
lard woman.
And then the Toad.
yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
We're like, oh, dude, that's so sick. But the guy with the like,
Yeah. Dude, I remember the
Kick
first
it
time I
up.
saw it when the dude's walking, then you see the cat jump down and it gets cut in half. I'm
and
like,
the leaf kind of goes like,
what's going on?
yeah.
And then you see the people just like,
Oh, and that was when the strings were cutting everything in
yeah,
half. Yeah.
they had swords in them.
Yeah. I was just talking about how the cat got cut in half and you never saw like what cut it, but it was like the strings.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a little like,
The-
were there strings that he's shooting at?
No, he was shooting gusts of wind, but the gusts had hidden invisible like blades in them.
Yeah. That part was so sick.
Yeah, it's
was a
been a
good fight
while.
scene.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I'm
Shaolin
actually looking at
Soccer
pictures.
is the same director. Sorry. The director of that movie also did Shaolin Soccer.
Never heard of it.
It's such a good movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same quirky like
It was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit with like a kung fu movie. It was really
so Shaolin Soccer is literally a kung fu soccer movie.
cool.
It's
You do
real-
like flips to get to the
yeah,
goal
there's
and
just one
shit.
part where like the dude like goes to score a goal and the goalkeeper stops it
How do I know that?
and they're all like, he saved like the unblockable shot, and you see the goalkeeper like hanging in the air like sideways perfectly to the post, and he has the ball in one hand, and then he lets go and you see the post like all crinkled.
Oh my!
And then to finally beat him, you know how they did the end of Kung Fu Hustle? They did like he did the hand of God.
Yeah, that was sick.
They do a very similar thing where he
Really?
does like the kick of God, and the goalkeeper goes to stop it,
Where
and
he's
his like
coming.
and his clothes are like shedding around his
Yeah.
arm, and then you see the net, and he's like, and then
That's
the ball
so
just goes
sick.
like, dum, dum, dum,
But
and
dude,
they win the game.
I think I'm gonna start watching more kung fu movies.
They're
like,
awesome.
Like the RZA's video of his. Have you seen that for like Vanity Fair? He went through like his top like 15.
What's the
kung fu
one?
yeah,
With,
yeah, you
what's
were
the one
telling
with
me.
the elephant? The guy's trying to get his pet elephant back.
Ong Bak. Ong Bak
No,
is a
that's
great-
not-
Yeah,
that's not it.
That's the one.
That's not the one.
I promise you it is.
It's called The Protector.
Dude,
We're trying to get his elephant back.
You're wrong.
I'm telling you right now, it's called The Protector. Ong Bak is something different.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. The Protector. Kung Fu movie. The guy gets his elephant stolen.
It's Ong Bak, the first movie.
Special technique.
Hold on.
Of Shaolin.
Look up ONGBAK.
I know what Ong Bak is.
How are there 2 kung fu movies about someone's elephant getting stolen? Really? Is that a common kung fu movie premise? It's Ong Bak.
No, it's not.
I know a couple people that have had to do that.
The Protector.
I like how you asked and then you knew the name.
I did. It was because Tony Jaa was in it. Yep.
Show me a picture.
I can show you the scene where he's fighting. It's one continuous take where he's going up this apartment complex fighting all these.
That's Ong Bak.
No, it's not. It's the Protector,
Dude,
bro.
how are you gonna tell me I own that movie?
I know. I have them both.
Hold on, man. Then it's probably like an English name for it or something.
No.
That's the first Ong Bak movie.
The Protector fight scene right here.
This is great stuff, guys.
Right here. What does it say right there? From The Protector.
Oh, Ong Bak.
That has to be a different name for Ong Bak because that's the first scene in. Right?
Mm-mm.
I guess I'm wrong.
Can it be? Andrew's wrong? Dead air.
It's okay.
Hold on. I'm on IMDb right now to clear this up.
This is terrible.
Tony Jaa's in both of them.
Oh, that's why. It's the same actor, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, you're right then. You're right.
I know my kung fu movies.
You're right because
I watch a lot of them.
As soon as I saw the picture of him,
Enter the
like,
Dragon. If you've never seen it, you should
I've
watch
seen
it.
Enter the Dragon.
I'm so mad that those are 2 separate movies and they're about the exact same thing.
It's the same actor.
Yeah, but they're both about an elephant getting stolen. Why is this such a common?
It's
premise?
very common, dude.
It's worth the fight over.
You're right, Sheldon.
Is this out of Korea
Sheldon,
or
this
Japan?
is why you're
or?
the all-knowing, dude. Dang.
Yeah,
I got like a pimple on the bottom of my nose, dude. It hurts so bad.
that's where all the wisdom comes from. What?
You ever have one?
What?
Like a pimple literally in your nose.
Not really.
Freaking
No.
hurts, bro.
No.
I gotta watch that movie. You're right, Sheldon. I know which one you're talking about, where they're going up and
Up
up and up.
It's in one shot.
Ben, there's this. Oh, man, I don't even.
And he's
I don't even
throwing-
I've heard the premise of it for about
Shut up.
10 minutes now.
And he's throwing people off the stairs and stuff.
The scene though is amazing though, Ben. It really is. It's one of the best scenes ever. Just because of how well done it is. But yeah,
That's big coming
more
from
kung
you.
fu movies, man. 36 Chambers is always gonna be my favorite one of all time.
There's a good one on Netflix right now.
I only like the old ones though.
The Fatal Flying
I gotta watch
Guillotine.
it.
No,
watch
it's
the
not.
new
It's a TV show. It's called Enter the Wu. So when I first saw it, I thought it was about the Wu-Tang.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, like the RZA got a new kung fu series. Completely different, where it's about a martial artist from the Wu. Not like actual Wu-Tang, but like the
Wu Nation.
I don't know.
That is, I think
it's
that.
pretty good though.
Yeah,
But
Really well choreographed.
my bad. What were you saying, Ben?
yeah, RZA did a video of his favorite ones that influenced him for the Wu-Tang albums. And it's like the Fatal Flying Guillotine and Shaolin versus the Wu-Tang, like that type of stuff. So
Cool. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
yeah, there's like 15 that he says, I think. So I'm gonna watch all of them.
Yeah. RZA
They're all on YouTube.
RZA breaks down 10 kung fu films he sampled.
Mhm.
That's it.
Was that on the Joe Rogan? Because I think he talked about.
Nah,
talked about
Vanity.
something.
Was it
He was
Vanity?
recently a
Vanity
guest on
Fair?
Joe Rogan. That's
Really
it.
great YouTube channel, Vanity
See,
Fair.
I
They do
dude,
a lot
I
of
watched the
stuff.
one with Rogan. I love Donnell Rawlings, but I wish it was just RZA.
He's the comedian, right?
Yeah, he's the one
When they
from
were
a Chappelle
talking-
show.
Yeah, they were talking about.
He would just
Clinton
cut in
Bigsby.
every single thing, like dude.
Kind of
it's
like you, man.
I think he was high
Yeah,
as hell.
yeah, that's right. I mold myself after him. No, like I want to hear from RZA. I want to hear. I mean, Donnell's been on the Rogan podcast already, and he gave all the background information of like Chappelle show and what was
Yeah.
going on. I want to hear about RZA. I want to
Yeah.
hear what he's saying.
I want to hear about the swords of knowledge.
Yeah,
What
from
kind of
Shaolin.
swords are you hiding? Swords. I got swords everywhere, man. Why does he say swords like that?
Sword.
I got swords.
Doom says that too.
Yeah,
Hold
he
the
does.
mic like two swords.
Two swords. It's like literally reading sword.
Did you see he came out at Adult Swim Fest and it was actually Hannibal Buress in a mask?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't see
People were
that.
kind of pissed. There was some booze and stuff.
Yeah, that's never a cool thing to do, man.
Just like
Fake
Drake.
Doom.
Drake got booed.
Yeah, dude. Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
What?
Drake got bodied.
Yeah.
I think he handled it.
Oh, he handled it professionally.
He was very emotional about it.
Was he?
You see Tyler's rant about it.
You could tell what he's saying, and he's like, "I appreciate."
I mean, to be
all.
fair, like if I'm coming out as a guest of the host of this, the guy that you guys idolize, he wants me to perform this, and you guys are just booing me because you thought Frank Ocean was coming out.
Yeah, no one ever said Frank Ocean was coming.
You're entitled ass people. Like that's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
I
want to
play
clown
devil's advocate for a little bit though in this situation because it's like, is he really in the same genre as people that listen to Tyler?
No, but that's not the point though. You're saying
kind of
like,
the point.
Okay, so if Tyler's putting together a concert, right,
Mm-hmm.
which he does every year, he's obviously picking artists that he wants to see perform.
Yeah.
He picked arguably the biggest one in the world who did him a favor and did it. And as a fan base, I understand that might not be what you're into, but Drake was playing his cuts that you could like. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because you also have Jaden Smith on here who makes music that's all in a similar vein to Drake's in a way.
James Smith's whack. But, yeah, people were entitled. They think, if they boo enough, he's going to come out or something like that. Like, honestly.
Yeah, dude, that shit was disgusting.
But it was disrespectful. But at the same time, it's kind of like know your audience when you're putting in music.
And Tyler tweeted about that. He said it might have been a little tone deaf, but that shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, these are like hype beast kids. Like,
yeah.
Which also is a big Drake audience too, but not the same.
Thing.
Not the same.
No, of course not.
No.
It's just tough, I guess. Like when you have famous friends, because let's face it, like that's the reason why he's on the lineup. It's just
but if you think about it, everyone that was on the lineup, none of them even make close to similar vein music of that Tyler does.
Who else?
Especially
Who else?
Igor. Oh, there was like 20-something people. I kind of forget.
I wanted to see Igor concert.
I thought you went.
I did not go, but I've seen videos and it looks insane.
Oh yeah, I saw some vids as well.
His visuals for that are wild. It's like just a wall of color behind him.
Yeah, I saw it was like a massive screen, and
Yeah.
then he had that little like costume that he has on.
So he had Juice WRLD.
I don't like Juice WRLD.
Brockhampton.
That's the same.
He had YG, Solange, Daniel Caesar, 21 Savage, and you guys are gonna get mad at Drake. Like,
Good point. Good point.
True.
Like,
But they didn't bill him.
he had the baby.
He wasn't the headliner.
Mm.
No, but at the same time, like
The baby's hot right now, though.
the baby's real hot right now.
I like the baby.
I like baby as well.
I put gold in my mouth and they think I'm intelligent. Or something like
That sounds fire.
Don't think I'm intelligent. Yeah, I like the baby.
I guess where the disconnect comes from is because you had Thundercat on there.
Ooh,
I love Thundercat.
Spicy.
Mm-hmm.
So once you hear Thundercat, if you hear Thundercat, you want music that's in a similar vein.
Yeah, to go from Thundercat to Drake is kind of a contrast.
In the internet,
It's not the same fan base.
No.
It's not.
no, nowhere close. But at the same time, then if they're mad at Drake, you should be mad at Juice WRLD, 21 Savage, like the baby, especially the baby.
But again, they weren't the last ones to come out for the night.
That's true.
Fair enough, but I'm not mad. I already seen Drake once. Like, let's say if I never saw him and he came out, I'd be like, "Holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
We got Drake."
I've never booed someone ever. I just don't think that's like.
I wonder how long his set was supposed to be, and he left. Was it early? So did the concert
I
end
think it
after
was
him?
like 15 minutes. He did.
So did it end after that?
I guess. Yeah.
See, that's you can't do that.
I think I've only ever been one place where they did a surprise guest, and it was 50 Cent. I like that song too.
Song's saying that song's fire.
It's just funny how silent everybody is.
Dude, no one was even singing back to him.
People were cheering.
I mean, yeah, but
It's a big audience, and just to
Right.
hear that a little bit.
this is hilarious.
Like I said, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up?
That's tough, man. What do you do?
I will keep going tonight.
I don't know. It's very I think it's it's fake.
What's fake?
Like his humbleness that he's trying to portray. You know, to him when he got off stage, he was. I mean,
Did you
now
see
I'm
what he
just
said
talking
on his-
hypothetical.
Did you see what he said on Instagram though?
It's all an image. He's worth like.
What he
millions
said
of
on
dollars,
Instagram
like-
was funny though.
What are you saying?
He said, "Jokes on you hipsters." He said, "I just took a 10-year residency at Flog Knock, so you guys get to see me every year."
No, I didn't see him say
I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so he's joking about shit.
I don't know, man. It's like you're a huge star. Like, why are you trying to win the favor of the audience?
Yeah, right.
It's like you're
Just-
multi-millionaire.
It's not your audience, yeah.
That probably is like kind of beat when you're like, if you're a performer, you probably feed off the energy from the audience, and they were like quiet, like so it's like
Yeah, it's gotta be awkward.
yeah,
Like,
like you're
really
performing
awkward.
songs, you're trying to get people hype, and everyone's just sitting there just like
That's how it was when I saw Earl. I was like, holy shit.
when no one was feeling them.
No one did anything. They were like just standing there. And I
Was
like,
that with
Thundercat?
What was he saying?
He was rapping.
No, but was he interacting with the crowd? Like, what was he saying?
No, he was just doing songs. and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was at the Met, and everyone on the lower level was just like,
It's a nice venue.
it's a great venue.
Nice venue.
I only sat up at the top, and it's like, you see the
Honestly,
you see
that's
that
where
ball?
that's where I prefer to be.
That's sketchy, dude. That ball of
All
spikes.
it needs is just go.
It's a ball of spikes above the dance
You know
floor.
what's funny that you
It's
say that?
insane.
Any venue that has a balcony, I prefer to be on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the one that's next? Is it TLA?
Yeah, TLA has a balcony.
TLA has a balcony, and also the other one, the one that's
Electric Factory?
no, not the Electric Factory, the
Or
bigger
the
one.
Franklin,
The
whatever
bigger
they
one.
call it now.
The most awkward
Fillmore's
Fillmore is
nice.
nice.
experience I had at a hip hop show. I'm gonna share this before. I was at the Only Built for Cuban Links anniversary concert. Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, and they had this kid opening up for them, and he was the last opener
Like a
before they
child?
went on. A teenage rapper. It was pretty hot too. Like his lyrics were pretty good. I don't know. His delivery was nice, and he was just up there rocking the stage. But this is like 3 openers in, so the
Everyone's
crowd was
tired.
restless,
Yeah.
dude. And probably like I want to say 75% of the way through his set, the whole audience starts chanting "Wu Tang" like over him rapping. Not even in a gap between his songs. Like they just had enough. And dude, it was the whole audience. Like he's just imagine him spitting, but people are shouting Wu Tang so loud that you can't even hear him rap anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like this kid he's probably elated that he's opening up for Wu Tang Clan. Like it's probably his dream. You know what I'm saying? He was like 18, and I was like, how can people be so heartless?
Entitlement, bro.
Yeah. Or
If he was whack, I'd
like
understand.
crowd mentality.
Yeah. Like if he was whack, I'd get it. But like he was actually killing it. It sucks.
Remember what his name was?
Of course not.
Josh.
He probably stopped making music immediately after. He probably hung out with the dude that played Jar Jar Binks, and they both got together.
He
They
walked
jumped off
past
the-
Meth Man in the back. Meth was like, "Hey man, you
Off the
gotta own
bridge.
it."
Yeah, well.
All right, we should really end this. This is going on for 3.5 hours.
Really?
We've been talking for a long time.
Yeah, the game's over. I missed it.
Oh, shucks.
I'm waiting for the game. All right.
You're pretty late.
Yeah.
Any last words before we put the knife in this one?
Everybody love everybody.
Okay. What do you got, Sheldon?
I got none. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay. Mine is look out for suspicious homeless people, but help the ones
On
that-
trade platforms.
Yeah, on train platforms.
Ooh,
Make sure they
I got
don't
one.
kill you needlessly by pushing you into an oncoming train while you have your headphones in.
Just for
I
fun.
got
man.
one. Do the things that you normally wouldn't do, even if you're uncomfortable.
That's
It felt
probably
good.
Yeah,
It felt really good.
yeah.
Little words for the
Dude,
soul.
snaps for that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cynthia. Jesus died for our sin. Thea.
Oh man, we out. Episode 76.
Peace.
Peace.